Hello, everyone. The podcast is back again after like a 1 month, 2 month break. I don't even remember anymore. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about since we've been on a long break. We got Metaphor, we got Dragon Ball, we got movies. Ahlkrin's even got some documents for us. The Pokemon leaks, the stuff with if this is your first time watching, I'm Bane. The guy in the middle is obviously Ahlkrin, as its card says. You can see him right there. And then the fish guy's name's Dan. Dan at Pixel at underscore Dan. Say hi, everyone.
Yeah, what's good, everyone? Welcome back. Missed you all.
Yeah, it's been a while since the gangs got together. Everyone's been so busy. I've been so busy. I haven't gotten exams and stuff. But now we got Minecraft. I'm playing it all Minecraft. So Ahlkrin, you falling asleep there, buddy? You okay? He's feeling eepy, guys. So you gotta give him a break.
So the big reason why that I guess I'm wearing the tuxedo now is that after 4 episodes in to our rehydrated podcast, I'm finally doing something remotely professional that other podcasts do, which is I brought in articles.
Yeah, actually, you got articles for us. Can you guys believe it? It's like we're professionals
Let
up
me
here.
give you a soft clap.
Should we be using bringing articles every week? Maybe, I don't know, but I thought.
I mean, if I find any, I will.
I think
It's
it's
not
a
like
good
I look at
idea.
articles.
That's literally what it is.
It gives us something to talk
I
about.
don't even know how they work, but like whenever I open up on my phone, whenever I open up Google,
Yeah,
like
there's
under the
articles
search bar,
below. Yeah.
yeah, all those articles. So like I just happened to find two that were there on Google, one on each separate times,
Very professional
and
here.
yeah, and I'm like, ooh, this looks like something decent to bring up on the podcast. So, yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna save the links on my phone. And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
about
so
video
now I
games.
have
It's
them.
about movies. What you got for us? What
So
section?
the first,
Yeah, kick us off.
there's one for movies and one for and one for video
Bro's got
games.
variety and stuff too. Look at him.
I do. So yeah, I guess we'll kick off with video games. So,
Sure.
Let's do it.
There's a lot going
well,
on in that area.
do what do we want? Do we want to kick off? I mean, I guess we'll kick off with the news real quick.
Yeah, give us
We'll
the
pull up the
article.
article.
Yeah, pull up the article, bro. Pull
Pull
up the
up the
article for
article.
us. Come on.
Alrighty. So this is titled Skyrim lead designer says it will be almost impossible for Elder Scrolls 6 to meet fans' expectations.
Oh my
Marketing
god.
departments just put their heads in their hands and weep.
Good.
So,
I mean,
the article is with a former Bethesda employee. They don't say his position here, called Bruce Nesmith, who left Bethesda in 2021, knows a thing or two about rising expectations.
well, it is Bethesda. I don't know. I never expected much from them. Maybe it would blame my
You'd actually be
expectations.
surprised with people, like what people think they are gonna get with Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls 6.
I mean, it is
Like,
Elder Scrolls 6, They announced this shit like, what, 2019, 2018? How many years was it ago?
So many years ago.
It was so long. I remember
Yeah.
E3 was still a thing back then. I watched that shit with my friends.
I remember. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. We actually talked about it in the
Yeah, we
first
did,
episode of the podcast. We did, yeah.
Mhm.
I think we all each individually watched that E3 because we all commented on that. But the article starts by saying Elder Scrolls 6 is coming and we're all very excited about it, despite the fact that from a public perspective, It currently exists as only a vague concept. Anticipation is good for developers. It's certainly better than no one caring about what you're getting up to. But in this particular case, it might present a problem for Bethesda. In a recent interview with Kiwi Talks, Bethesda veteran Bruce Nesmith says it will be almost impossible for the game to meet the expectations of fans.
Well,
Bethesda's big problem in this regard, according to Nesmith, is that it's had what one might call a hell of a run with huge open world RPGs. Going back more than 20 years through the Elder Scrolls and Fallout series and peaking with Skyrim, which remains a landmark game. It's
that is true.
also still immensely popular, drawing thousands of concurrent players to daily on Steam alone, despite having originally released in 2011. That's not exactly a new revelation, but it's interesting to hear it from someone who actually worked at Bethesda for
They
decades.
actually just admitted it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh,
got to be insanely anxiety-inducing. A lot of pressure
oh
around
yeah.
these new games. I mean, even
Of course.
GTA 6 probably just as much pressure around it.
You know,
And I
trust them.
think,
I trust Rockstar a little more with that, honestly.
I
yeah,
don't. That
I,
that that's
I mean, they may have a
I
better record, but I think the point is the point stands
Yeah.
that both communities just have probably very unrealistic expectations,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be really hard to fill them all. And I really don't have too many horses in this race. Like, I played a little bit of GTA 5. I haven't played Skyrim, so I know just vaguely about its legacy,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that, like, in order to fulfill what everybody is wanting in terms of a new game, it's gonna be, yeah, it feels like it's near impossible because people are very likely to be just comparing the new games to the old games, and if
Yeah.
there's anything that was in the old game that's not in the new game, it's gonna spell a problem for some of these people. And I feel, yeah, I feel as though it is an issue with announcing games really, really early and then not having anything to show for it, because people are impatient and people don't understand how long it takes to create something that is worth it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I feel like until we actually see some more information from both of these games, like, people are probably just going to have more and more expectations, and more unrealistic expectations, and it's probably already out of hand, but it can get worse. It could get worse. I think the longer that we don't know anything, the more people are gonna just expect more and more, and that probably is gonna lead to disappointment.
The
Mm-hmm.
article continues saying the fans who want to buy Elder Scrolls 6, their expectations are going to be almost impossible to meet. And the marketing departments just put their heads in their hands and weep at this, because it's like, okay, if it isn't perfect or doesn't get at minimum a 95 plus score on Metacritic, then we're a
The
failure.
Metacritic. Yeah, the most
Yeah,
important.
Metacritic.
It's
Woohoo.
incredible how these websites just have so much control over how well a game does, right? Like just a fucking getting a good Metacritic score suddenly boost your game
So
sales so much.
I'll come back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the article continues. Nesmith, who knows a thing or two about rising expectations, he's best known as the lead designer of Skyrim, but his credits at Bethesda go all the way back to Daggerfall in 1996 and run through Oblivion, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and Starfield, and said that's why Bethesda put so much effort in trying to manage those expectations. Elder Scrolls 6 is undoubtedly going to be an amazing game, but it's going to be compared to all the previous games that Bethesda made. Bethesda has already run up against a wall of immeasurable expectations with Starfield, which by most measures was good but not great. It's
Yeah,
resulted in a
sure.
sub 60% user rating on Steam and general sense that the game is somehow a failure or at least a fumble.
It is.
Todd Howard attributed much to that, to the fact that Starfield is different than you've seen from us in the past, which you can debate as you see fit. But it does indirectly highlight the fact that the next Elder Scrolls game is facing even greater expectations. Starfield gets some slack because it's a new thing, but Elder Scrolls 6, it's the next Elder Scrolls game. All that pressure isn't entirely negative. Nesmith said the weight of Bethesda's legacy is a blessing and a curse at the same time, because that high bar means the development team will be given resources it needs to clear the bar. And he added, it's hardly unique to Bethesda. Imagine for a moment that you worked at Lorraine Studios. He said they just released Baldur's Gate 3 and now they've got to make another great game. What are the expectations going to be on the studio's next project? Lorraine was not a studio that was uppermost on everybody's mind. Didn't fall off the lips of the vast majority of people buying video games. They weren't what everyone considered to be a top tier publisher. Well, guess what? They sure are now. They're on the map, and it means the expectations are sky high for them. At least it's not something Bethesda has to worry about right away when we don't even know what the full title is or where the game is set at this point, much less have a guess at a release target. Extremely optimistic, it could be somewhere in 2026, but personally I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see it until sometime closer in 2030.
Oh my
And that
god,
is all.
2030 is insane.
That's crazy. I don't even want to be on this earth anymore.
Bro, 2030, bruh.
I say half jokingly, but like, goddamn, that feels like an eternity away. Huh?
It
It
does.
does.
It does.
It does feel like so
And
long.
that was our PC Gamer article.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was an interesting read. I definitely think that I'm very thankful that they gave a little support towards Starfield in their kind words as they did, because
Well, they
most
can't
people
shit
were
on,
clearly
you know,
not.
if they're a PC gamer, you know, what are they gonna say? Don't buy Starfield, you know, the kind of lawsuit that will fall upon
They
them if they
could.
said anything bad about it?
They could, because
Yeah.
everyone else has said shit on
But it's PC
Starfield.
gamer, you know? It's like one of the big ones. They don't want to get into controversies because like they shit on Starfield, they're like they're gonna have problems with every future deal they want to do with Bethesda, right? Because Bethesda's already gonna have on a
Right.
bad lie. They're not gonna say
Anytime they
something
try
bad
to do
about
like
it.
a preview event.
Yeah, like it's I don't think
A
it's a good
preview event. What
idea.
the fuck is this Magic Draft?
And maybe I don't know, like a
Yeah, you know, I think
pre-release sort of thing.
Starfield. I agree
A
with the general
pre-release?
public on Starfield.
Wow!
I
Yes,
think
it all comes
Starfield's
back to
pretty
magic.
bad. You know, that's my opinion. I think the newer Bethesda games are all bad. I don't like Fallout 76. I don't like Starfield. I don't even know what else they released, but probably don't like it either. You know, Fallout 4 is acceptable. You know, I got mixed opinions on Fallout 4, but I like it. You know, it's okay. Fallout 76, I think it's shit. Same with Starfield.
When's the
both like a
last time you
buggy mess.
played
And I think it's
6?
mostly because they don't give time. Like they actually just don't give time to the developers. Unlike the article says that they got the time and resources. I don't think they actually do, because the results, they don't show that. They show poor sloppy work. And either
To
the
be
developers are
fair-
lazy and the developers just don't want to work, or the more realistic opinion I think is that they don't have enough time or they don't have enough resources to work on it. I don't think
to
they
be
don't care.
I think that comment line was directed less at the developers and more at the marketing team.
Oh, that's fair.
Because
Right.
that's all that what the entirety of the article is about, is talking about the marketing team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it comes across as like a larger issue with marketing, right? Like a
Yeah.
season of a show ends and they immediately want to say, okay, the next one's in development, which is
Mhm.
great, and people are excited to know that. But at the same time, you don't have to say that immediately. Like it's okay to let people breathe and just process things, whether it's a game or a movie.
Mhm.
And it just becoming more of a problem for for us as people, especially with movies now and TV shows. But like, as soon as one thing ends, they announce that they're working on developing, whether it's writing the script or even just you know finding just what they want to do with it,
Mhm.
but they want to announce it immediately to get the hype and get people talking about it, because they want to control people, control the kind of conversations online. They want to be at the forefront of, they don't want to become, fall into obscurity, right? But
Yeah.
you announce something that's coming out, or it's being worked on, and you don't have anything to show for it for years. And in some cases, whether maybe not in the case of Skyrim, or Elder Scrolls, or GTA 6, because people are always going to be thinking about that. But when it comes to TV series, like, people are just gonna kind of forget. And so when you have like years and years of gaps in between these things, and you're meant to like remember everything that these characters did and went through, it just becomes really hard to stay engaged with that. And it seems like it'd
Yeah.
be a much better idea to wait. Like, would they be fine or in a better position if they just never said anything about Elder Scrolls 6? They'd probably be in the same position. They probably would be working on it just the same, but maybe have a little less pressure. And then they would have more conversations around like speculation, rather than straight up impatientness, right? And I think speculation is good, but when
Mhm.
you have people that are getting tired waiting in a limbo, then they start to grow a little bit of disdain, and that creates rushed development times, and that's what creates a bad product. So I think it all really does come down to like being strategic, and when you announce things, and when to just shut up and keep buttoned up, and put your head down and work. And when it's time to announce things, I think they'll know.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a larger problem with
Yeah,
society,
it just comes
if I
about
can
it.
be so bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're different teams, like that's the thing, even if the developer team will like the marketing team not to do that, probably the big head is like, okay, we gotta create hype, we gotta do
Right.
it, and that ruins crossovers the creatives, right? And I mean, the fact that
Exactly.
they keep doing this with shows and games and stuff, it means that it works. Like from a capitalistic point of view, it works. It gets the
Yes.
sales. They've proven that, but I'm not sure if it ensures a good product. Like it's a good it's like something good to have. Like I would have no idea. I can't imagine the pressure developers are under right now with Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, they already were under a lot of pressure because they're working on Elder Scrolls 6. Like Skyrim is a legendary game, and same with GTA 6. But I mean, like people were not expecting a Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know. I wasn't a big in the community back then, but I'm pretty sure everyone was like, "Oh yeah." I mean, I guess Skyrim is gonna be the last one. No one was talking about it. But
Right.
getting the announcement all and getting the people talking about it, I think it just puts so much pressure on the creator that it's not fair to them. And I hope the project's gonna end up good. I mean, I'm not the biggest Skyrim fan. I like Morrowind more. But like getting a new game in the saga that's actually good, like it's gonna make my eyes sparkle. I'm gonna wag my little tail a little bit. But I mean, I'd like it for it to be good. I hope it's good, and I hope the time that they're spending working, quote unquote, on it means that the final product is gonna be good, and the time it's taking is not because of production problems and shit. It's because they're actually trying to deliver a good, refined product. I can only hope that. And GTA 6 got
Right.
announced like fairly recently, so I'm not expecting anything much from them in like a while.
Yeah, exactly. I think GTA 6 has a much larger grace period. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think I think when it comes to GTA 6, like you have a formula and you know what you want to do, and it could be played kind of safer. But when it comes to Elder Scrolls, I think people want some sort of brand new, giant
Yeah,
world. Whereas
new
with GTA 6,
experience.
it's like, yeah, you could just kind of, you could put us off, it's going to be a beautifully detailed city and it's going to be awesome. I'm sure there's going to be many different places to explore, but it's more grounded in some form of reality. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's a little bit easier to come up with.
Yeah, you can
Um,
grab a real life place, like how they did in GTA 5. I don't know if
right.
San
And
Andreas is a
then,
real life place, honestly, but I know GTA 5 is like a place in real life because I've
right.
seen videos of people driving through the streets.
I'm not huge on Grand Theft Auto overall, but I've
Me
already
neither.
spoken my piece on Elder Scrolls 6 back on our first episode. I
Mm-hmm.
think that, and I won't get too much more into it. All I know is that everybody who has like any expectations of it, of thinking it's going to be totally different from Starfield, I think
Yeah.
that
Well, yeah.
their expectations are too much, and I think people need to just be prepared to accept
Well,
it
I
for
don't
what it
think
is.
being a conformist is good either. I don't think that if they give you a bad product, you're gonna be like, yeah, this is perfect. This is just what I
No,
expected.
I don't think, and that's the thing. I don't think Starfield was a bad product. I
Okay, bro.
found a lot of enjoyment in it. I really did enjoy it, and its DLC is out, so I should probably end up playing it again.
Hey man, you're
But
you're part of the 60%, you're
Yeah.
part of that.
but
On Steam.
like the thing is that I don't see I don't see people not like slaughtering ES6 like they did Starfield, because it's Bethesda we're talking about.
Hmm.
It's going to be like unoptimized,
Yeah, yeah.
and there's
Even
going to be
Skyrim, like
major
Skyrim is so
problems.
popular, and
Skyrim launched like
Skyrim is
a
unplayable without
nightmare.
mods. Like actually, you're just gonna get you're gonna keep crashing
Yeah,
and losing progress
yeah,
and shit. Like,
yeah.
and
But
still like
people
a legacy
seem
game.
to overlook that.
Yeah.
People seem to overlook that, but yet they and people seem to overlook its hardware issues, even though it has the same hardware issues as Fallout 4, and probably not the same length of 76. 76 needed a lot more work. Thankfully it's
Mhm.
playable now, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I
but
think people just
no,
have like they have more of an allegiance and trust to
they
like
do.
an existing IP. So like when they see Starfield and it's
That's
a
true.
brand new thing,
Well,
It's like,
they
yeah,
actually,
just
no,
first
whatever.
think of things that are like
it's
within
not
that.
even that. Like, because I love on how I said I wasn't getting into this, and now look, I'm getting into it.
It tends to
That
always
that
happen.
it's not even that, because what like when Starfield released, people were making comments on how, oh, they should have just made Elder Scrolls 6. And it's like, okay, well, it wouldn't have fixed the problem that you
Yeah.
are bringing up. all it would do is just give you a new target to direct all your problems at, because you are not complaining about the game. Like at that point, you're not complaining about the game itself. You're complaining about the IP. Whereas everyone's criticism, including the people making this post, they are slashing at Starfield for different reasons besides I'm not Elder Scrolls 6. Which can be valid, but being a Bethesda fanboy, in order to enjoy these titles, you you have to accept all of the harsh problems and find the good in it, which is a lot to ask for.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, holy shit, this is enjoyable when the thing works. But when it doesn't work, oh man. Oh man. Stuff like that. But I don't want to stay too much more on this topic. Our first podcast episode, I already went into it and talked about how I think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to flop to the community.
No,
and that's the whole
please.
reason why that article caught my eye, is because even Bethesda acknowledges, holy fuck.
I mean, Bethesda employee, you know. I don't think he worked
Yeah.
on. I don't think they mentioned
he
him
doesn't
working
work at
on
it
Elder Scrolls
anymore.
6. I mean,
No, he doesn't. He doesn't work at Bethesda anymore.
no, I mean like if he worked on Elder Scrolls 6. Because if he stopped working on 2021, that's way after they announced Elder Scrolls 6. So I don't
Yeah.
think he actually had. I'm not sure he had anything
Yeah.
to do with Elder Scrolls 6 though. I don't think they mentioned that.
Yeah, no, he could or he couldn't. I don't fucking know. Because the truth is that nobody knows what the fuck.
Yeah, we got no
what the fuck
news.
Bethesda's doing right now. They can say they're doing one thing, but they're probably doing another. I don't know. Anywho, to the next segment of the news.
Mm-hmm. Wait, isn't it gonna be a movie though? A movie article?
Didn't. Oh, the movie article we'll talk about.
In the okay. Yeah.
But yeah. So Dan commented a moment ago about and you did too, about trailers for video games, and like, the releasing the announcement and like, hey, we're working on this. What just got what just got a trailer and is coming sooner than Elder Scrolls 6, meaning
No way.
next year soon.
So sorry.
No.
Imagine.
Yeah,
Imagine.
Keep dreaming.
Oh, I will, buddy.
What's that, Ahlkrin? What got the announcement?
Poppy Playtime Chapter 4.
Oh, get out,
Man.
bruh.
Go.
Hey, that's cool.
Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. We got a trailer and we're getting it in 2025.
That's great
Look,
for you, buddy. I'm happy
I don't
for
know
you.
anything about Poppy Playtime, so I'll let you
dope.
speak to it. But
It's
I
pretty
will
dope.
say, with no new stuff from Five Nights at Freddy's and that franchise.
Oh, we did get something new from Five Nights at Freddy's though. We got the fucking the top-down game. What's it called? Not really a top-down game, but like kind of RPG-ish. The ball pit. Into the ball pit.
Into the pit.
That was new. Yeah, into the pit. That's
Wait,
new,
didn't
right?
we-
Never looked
Didn't
into
we talk about that last
I don't think we
Did-
mentioned
was
Into
it
the
out
Pit,
last
did
time?
we? I don't think we
I
mentioned
don't
Oh,
it.
remember
well-
talking about it in detail, but I've seen it on Steam before. I didn't realize it was new.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure,
new, right?
I'm sure if Bane edits his video at all, he's gonna go back
No.
and put in a segment right here, pointing out on how Into the Pit came out between this episode and last episode. So
Oh, really?
if it's going to be possible for us to, I mean, I don't fucking know.
I honestly didn't think that there was anything new from FNAF after
but
security.
no, FNAF Into the Pit was really nice.
I've heard really good
Also-
things of it. I still need to play it. I got it on my
It's
list.
really good. No spoils. It's really good. And Dan, there's also a Help Wanted 2.
Came out in August.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I take back what I was gonna say, but I
Yeah.
essentially was gonna say, this is gonna fill that niche that people
Mhm.
wanted for some, mascot horror game. But hey, if FNAF is still if they're still
Still
chugging
going
along
strong,
and
yeah.
pushing out games, that's great. I mean, good for them. I didn't
Also,
realize
FNAF
that
will
that
never
was
die.
so new. Yeah, I don't
FNAF
think
will
it'll
never
die.
die because you
I
have
thought it
like
was
6
just
billion fan games that are being made every week, so don't
That
worry
is
about
that's
it.
true.
You got the
Yeah,
Choo
I
Choo
guess I
Charles,
thought that there
bro.
was more
Choo
of
Choo
a
Charles
Oh
2
my
dropping
god!
out. Bro,
Wait,
Choo
oh
Choo
shit, that's
Charles.
right, it's getting a sequel.
He
Oh
is
my
getting a
god, I
sequel.
forgot.
That's
Okay,
Did it
crazy. I
already
have no
drop?
idea what that is.
Dude,
okay,
Google
but
Choo Choo Charles. You're gonna start laughing. I promise you. You're gonna
hear me
laugh.
I mean,
out.
I can
Um,
just imagine it's gonna be like some baldies shit. But let's see, Choo Choo Charles.
it is pretty Baldi's level.
It is
Oh,
so.
it's
Baldi's core.
it's this. Yes. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
the
have seen this.
The original game of Choo Choo Charles was not horrible. I know a lot of people hated it because not only did the game itself did not feel polished, but I especially love that they did the one thing I love in games where it's like aside from being on the your own little train and having the mounted machine gun, when you get off the train, you are unarmed. So like you could be killed at any
You did the thing. You did the thing when you have no guns. Oh my gosh.
oh,
Oh my
lick my
gosh.
balls.
I love it. I freaking love it.
Lick my balls, Bane.
No, I get. I'm
And now-
just joking. I get
now
that it feels a
we'll,
different niche than having a gun.
It does.
It's
does.
completely different. The experience is completely
Yes.
different.
And I know that people hated it. It's like because you have to dive into these cultist compounds, and it's like they have rifles and shotguns, and if they find you, then they're gonna shoot you. But
Pew pew.
you're unarmed, so you just have to sneak in or just like run like a maniac inside. grab
different
it,
kind of
and
gameplay.
run out of there. I don't know. It's I think that's pretty entertaining. I know other people hate it, but
No, I mean, if it's done right, I like it. It's not that I'm like, oh, I hate it when I don't have a gun. I don't like it when I have a gun. Oh my gosh, I can't play this without guns. I'm not that type of guy.
I can assure you, Choo Choo Charles is not played properly. It doesn't do anything right. That game was.
What is the gameplay like? I mean, are you literally shooting at a train?
You have no gun.
We're going to. We're just gonna
You have
plug
no
in
gun, but you must
Jacksepticeye here.
You must shoot.
I'm just gonna plug in Jacksepticeye here, and
Mhm.
I will send you a link to the whole game in one video because
You can
Jax
just
is
skip
at,
through
like,
it and see what the gameplay's like.
Yeah, and you can watch his playthrough of it. It was something. It was entertaining. It's an entertaining watch for the first time.
I think like watching those kind of games, I think it's fun. It's like actually just taking the time to play it and like bleh, bleh. It's slop,
But
it's just mass produced slop. So you're like, oh, I mean,
you know what isn't mass produced slop though.
Poppy Playtime.
I mean, true, but Alien Isolation.
That is true. We got a new movie.
Why? Why? Not just that, but why would I bring up Alien Isolation?
Because you have no gun.
That you do have a gun in that game.
You do? I
it
forgot.
just doesn't work on the xenomorph, which is why I fucking love the game. But like literally, if you shoot the xenomorph, it does nothing. But you reveal your location, it turns around and kills you. It's amazing. But Alien Isolation is 10 years old, and there was a post just the other day. You see,
Alien Isolation 3.
No, it's a sequel.
Wait, they're
actually working on a sequel for Alien Isolation.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
After 10 years, they took to Twitter. They announced its anniversary and said, "Yeah, we've done it. We're doing another one."
We have so many game stuff to talk about, bro. We haven't even talked about Sparking Zero, Metaphor, or the Pokemon stuff. Jesus Christ, there's so many games coming out.
Yeah, the Sparking Zero. That's yeah. The only comment I need to make on that is that I am seeing like a lot of my friends are talking about how
Oh, hell yeah.
how annoying
The monkey?
boss fight for Vegeta is for
Like, the
his
monkey
ape
version?
form.
Bro,
But like,
I've seen people who actually play fighting games saying that if you actually play fighting games, it's not that hard. But I'm not gonna have beef with your friends. I haven't played it, so
Yeah,
maybe it is hard. I don't know.
my friends are too casual. Okay, you're the fighting game player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. And then my buddy Jason, who I will be bringing up again later.
This happened to my buddy Jason.
He like him and I were talking the other day. I'm like, how's Sparking Zero? He's like, oh yeah, it's doing well. And I said, yeah, I got another buddy of mine who's stuck on that boss fight too. And he said, oh, it's really not that hard. And I said, dude, you were stuck on that since like the night of release. What do you mean it's not that hard? He's like,
you say since we released, but it's been like 4 days since release, no? How long has it been?
Yeah, and he got it on the night release. It, like all he did was play that, but then he like progressed until he got to that boss fight, and it's like fuck, he was stuck on it for like 3 days. But he's like, oh, it's not hard. You just have to use the mechanic from the game. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, that's fair.
I probably play online only. I'm not the type of guy to play single player on fighting games. It's not my thing. Plus, I don't really like Dragon Ball. I'm sorry, I just don't really like it.
I don't even think you'd consider Sparking Zero a fighting game.
It is an arena fighter, but it plays. Okay, I've seen a lot of the people.
It's not a traditional fighting game.
Yeah, it's not traditional. It's not like 2D. It's it's an arena fighter.
That's exactly what I think of whenever I hear fighting game. Is like I think of
Street Fighter, like, Mortal Kombat,
etc. Yeah, I think
that is a fighting game though.
Not like Ninja Storm. And every fucking Ninja Storm clone that
it's just that Budokai Tenkaichi 3, like that was my childhood. That was probably my first fighting game I ever played.
I heard a lot of things, a lot of good things about Budokai Tenkaichi. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
and it's one of like the only good arena fighters for me. Like there's a reason why it became so legendary. Even today, people are still doing tourneys on Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Like even modded, and people still do mods for it and stuff. It's just a good arena fighter, and I don't know what it is about it that makes it so different. Like the gameplay is just so much smoother and nicer than even the newer arena fighter games, like the new Jujutsu Kaisen game and fucking the latest Ninja Storm.
I'm going to be real.
Be real.
Every fucking modern, with the exception of the Dragon Ball ones, because I'm not gonna shit talk Xenoverse or any of those other ones.
I never played Xenoverse, so you can shit talk them if you want.
Xenoverse is more like. Because that feels more RPG-esque, because
I think it is more
build your character and such. You learn all these moves, you build your kit and whatever. So in a way, it is kind of RPG-esque. So I'm not gonna shit on. I don't mean to shit on that, but like every other one of these arena fighter ones they feel like just a clone, a reskin of Ninja Storm.
I don't like Ninja Storm either, but maybe that's why I don't like the reskins.
I don't like these kind of games, period, for my own self. I put them in the category of, they're good games, but they're not games for me.
You don't like Budokai? I thought you said you liked it.
No. I didn't own it.
You play in a friend's house?
Why I didn't own it. But I know all my friends did, and they talk a lot about it, and sometimes I'd watch them play it.
Yeah.
Just shit like that. It's good. It's a good game. I recognize that. And but I didn't play them. But the only one I did play was the Demon Slayer one.
Oh yeah.
On Xbox, but no, it is 100%. And even my brother who plays the older Ninja Storm games, because like he got a sale of them on the Xbox years ago.
That's awesome.
So like he binged through playing in, I'd see him have fun, and so he saw me playing the Demon Slayer one, and he's just like, "What the fuck is this Ninja Storm clone, dude?" And I'm like, "I have no fucking idea. I'm just here because Tanjiro's in this game, dude." Like, but no, and then I see the Jujutsu Kaisen one.
That looked ass, bro.
And I saw the Boruto, and it's like, dude, this is literally just Ninja Storm.
Yeah. No manga characters is actually so criminal too. I hate that. And the new fucking Zero also has no manga characters, bro. That actually pisses me off. They don't have my boy Boros.
Isn't it something major for fighting games that like they kind of always do like DLC character packs? Because it's kind of like,
yeah, sometimes they do.
What else are they gonna do?
Yeah, I mean they do. I know. I'm hoping Sparking Zero gets the super characters too, but like the manga super characters. Sweet. I mean that. Plus, Android 21 isn't even in. How are you not gonna put the mask of your other fighting game in the new fighting game? You gotta put Android 21.
I thought. I thought Sparky Zero was supposed to be, because like at least for the storyline that I've been seeing, and like it's supposed to be like a retelling of Z.
I think it is supposed to be that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like,
well, there are super characters in it, like there's Kaefla and like the fusion and whatever. So there are like super characters in there, so that's not like an excuse for them. Plus, like the whole thing about Budokai Tenkaichi, and that everyone agrees with, the whole point of it is having this huge roster of even the most jobber characters that like die in 2 seconds into the show, and just like giving them a spotlight, you know? Like yeah, like the Ginyu Force is iconic as fuck. The Ginyu Force is iconic as fuck. You know, I'm talking about fucking chaos. You know, like how do you guys call it in English? Keioitsu? Keioitsu? I don't know. You guys have that weird name for chaos. But the fucking mime guy that dies, and that's pretty much his only thing. But
I can't remember. But yeah, no. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
No, yeah, I love the Ginyu Force though. They're so funny with the fucking poses and shit. They're actually jobbers though.
It's like they were a terror. They were a fucking threat in Z, and then Goku just fucking shows up, and then he just wipes the floor with all of them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
You ever play any Budokai Tenkaichi, Dan? Or do you know everything about Dragon Ball?
No, I honestly I never really played any Dragon Ball fighting games. The only like anime fighting game I really played was on the GameCube, was one of the Naruto ones at a friend's house.
Ninja Storm then. Like
yeah, probably that one.
Because that's
yeah, so I don't unfortunately I just don't really have much to say about it, but
yeah.
I think they're cool. Like I think in terms of like at least if it's the gameplay style that I'm thinking of, like arena style, where it's like
you can move around,
fly around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think that's awesome. Like that's really cool for Dragon Ball, and it's gotta be fucking really hard to make a game like that. That looks really intense and difficult, but it's the perfect formula for a Dragon Ball fighting game. Yeah, and then yeah, I guess the only other thing I want to say was that I still think that the idea of Jump Force is cool, and I wish that,
it is super cool. Like, I wish it was good.
Got better.
Yeah,
yeah. I wish it
got a good Jump Force.
Never played it, but I just know
it is ass.
Wasn't received very well.
It is actual ass.
I've seen gameplay of like and now, granted, I was never really big into Yu-Gi-Oh, but like I see Yugi in a fighting game.
Yeah. What the fuck really was Light Yagami doing in that roster? Goku.
It was so cool, and you got this fucking guy from like Midnight City with like he has a gun and he pulls out a fucking bazooka against like a little god. Dude, that was my goat.
Does Light like have Ryuk in his?
I think Light does have
Ryuk. Does, but like
otherwise he's just like guy, yeah.
Yeah, no. The joke is that he, what the fuck is this twink doing against a Saiyan?
Right.
Isn't he just like a story character though? Can you even play him? I don't remember you can play him.
I think you. I don't remember.
I think he was just like a story character. Yeah. It was just a character from the story. He doesn't actually fight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
Release
looking
the
over
Light
it.
Yagami cut.
it would be kind of funny, but like you can't make a really a moveset out of him. But yeah, I would love to see like Luffy fight fucking Goku and then Gon and whatever, and it would be so fun. Like a good Jump
Yeah,
Force
it's
game.
it's a really,
Plus, with all the new
yeah,
IPs you have now, you can add like Jujutsu Kaisen characters. You can add like Demon Slayer, fucking Undead Unlock. And what's this other? Fuck, there's one. Oh, Boku no Hero. You can add more Boku no Hero characters.
Well, wait, no.
Yeah,
I
there really could be
swear, I
more.
thought, I thought My Hero already had,
Yeah, it does have.
already in there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
in
It
there.
had like
Yeah,
two
no,
people. I
but-
think it just had
Yeah,
Deku and maybe
I know.
All Might.
I think it did have All Might. But you can add
Yeah,
new ones. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. You can make it like a bigger roster.
Yeah, I mean they have two My Hero specific fighting games, and I don't know how those are, but at least
I know
those
that's the
have more
Fortnite
characters.
game for Boku no Hero.
If we're
For My
talking
Hero.
about, if
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking about other like fighting games that we all feel like should have a sequel, I feel like Dan can chime in on this one. I think they
Yeah.
could, they could do another Pokken.
Pokken would be sweet, yeah.
Like,
a
I
new
think
age
that there's
content.
so many.
I never
characters
played
that,
Pokken.
like, it's pretty cool.
I played.
I never actually played. I don't think I played Tekken before I played Pokken, but it was pretty exciting to see. First of all, just like seeing the Pokemon in more like realistic textures was cool because, like, you know,
Mhm.
not developed by Game Freak,
Oh,
or at
there's a
least like fully
Switch.
by Game Freak, like gives them a chance to actually show off different art styles and art directions, which is always really cool for Pokemon. But yeah, I feel like even with Pokken,
Yeah.
you could completely remove. Not that you would, because it would probably be a shit ton of extra work. But the point being, you could remove every single Pokemon that was in the roster and then make a brand new roster, and it would be just as cool because there's just so many ideas. You could do anything.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Sometimes I
think,
forget how
like-
old the Nintendo Switch is, bro. I'm like, oh, it's on the Switch. It's probably
yeah,
kind of
man.
new, and I'm like,
Oh,
Switch fucking
oh my
2017.
2017, huh?
That's crazy.
Dane, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind. Pokken actually released on the Wii U.
Yeah, I saw it in 2015
Oh
actually.
my
But there's like a
God,
Switch
yeah.
version.
I remember
There was a Switch version, like an updated one, because it had
Yeah.
I think it added
one new character.
Decidueye. I think it had Decidueye.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it was, yeah, I
Decidueye.
think
I'm
Decidueye
seeing
and-
Decidueye here.
and maybe one other. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think it was like it added two characters. One was Decidueye and whatever. But yeah, no. Regardless, yeah,
I would like to see another Pokken. That'd be sick.
Pokken would be nice.
Problem is, it's just like, you know, it's only gonna be on the Switch. It won't be on Steam,
Yeah.
and that already is,
Yeah, it's right, bummer.
you know, to some people, some like, you know, snobs, that's already like, quote unquote, killing it, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Oh,
killing. I mean,
yeah.
Nintendo's so popular. You
No,
can get
I-
like a
I
new
understand.
game.
That's why
yeah.
I'm saying like snobs would say that.
Yeah,
you know what I
definitely
mean?
snobs. I mean, it's insane that
fucking
like
game
Nintendo,
snobs,
an IP with
specifically.
stuff like Pokemon, Zelda, like stuff like that. Are just saying releasing
Right.
something for the Nintendo Switch exclusively is killing it. That's crazy. That's actually
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean,
talk,
there are like so many I mean there's so many amazing franchises that just it wouldn't exist without Nintendo. And like I don't
Yeah.
think there's any reason to put them on Steam. But like a game
No,
like
me neither.
Pokken, it'd be cool. I don't
Pokken
know.
would be fine on Steam.
Yeah, I like.
But
I mean, I like the idea of having stuff on PC, but it also just kills the reason for consoles. It's just like
Right,
Lamau,
and
the
then you're not
PlayStation 5 has
actually-
no
yeah,
games.
It's,
owning the
like
game.
it's a bad thing.
Yeah, like I mean, I think it's cool that everyone can play the game, but like also kills the reason for consoles completely. Like, why would you? I just see no reason to get a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series S because you can play the same games on a PC. Just use that money. Invest in a good PC that's around this. I don't know how it's in the US, but in here it's definitely around the same money as a good computer,
It's not,
and you can play the
around
same game.
Price over here. It is not around the same price over here.
Why is that
So,
PC is
for-
more expensive or less?
Yeah, PC.
Yeah, that would be.
decent. PC
Oh, who
I
knows?
see.
The
over here.
brand new PS5, you have to get the fucking disc drive. It probably does
Yeah.
end up costing just as much, but
Yeah, I'm saying the
Yeah.
PS5 here are like $1 million pesos. A little more than $1 million pesos.
So
And
that's
that's
what-
is that
around what
1,000?
the. I think it is
Over
10.
here,
It is $1,000. I think.
Our
something like that.
PCs normally go like can go-
$50,000, please.
No,
PlayStation
not really.
5.
But, our PCs up here in the States, decent ones, usually you're forking out anywhere between 1,400
Jesus.
to 2K. Whereas the consoles themselves are around like 400, 500, $600.
Okay, yeah, I see that then. In here,
So-
I think it's definitely because of importation prices or something. They end up costing
Right.
around the same. Sometimes the PS5 is even more expensive. So I don't know why.
I don't. Does Sony and Xbox like? Do they even do true exclusives anymore? Because I feel like a lot of the
don't
things
think
I
so.
deem
I mean, the
as
Stellar
exclusive,
Blade
they've
on exclusive on
they've come
PlayStation
to
5.
Steam.
Yeah, Stellar
What is
Blade
that?
is Stellar Blade, which is kind of like Nier like game. I don't know if you know Nier Automata.
Uh-huh.
It's a Nier
I
like
do,
game.
yeah.
It's only for the PS5, so they did that exclusive.
Got you.
Horizon came out on PC, so it's no longer an exclusive. I don't even know
Right.
what
I feel like
else,
there's so
honestly.
many things like that. I mean, at some point, Phantom Pain was exclusive, and so was Nier, and then those have come out.
If anything, PlayStation 3 has more exclusive than PlayStation 4 and 5. Actually, kind of funnily.
Yeah.
Bloodborne
I
is on
guess
the
the best
PS4 and it's not on PC like the biggest one, Bloodborne
You know
is only
what
on PS4.
isn't an exclusive on any console?
What?
Monster Hunter.
Exactly. Monster
I know.
Hunter.
How do you
Wild.
know that? How do you know he was gonna talk about Monster
brain,
Hunter?
Brain works. I know how
Damn, you got him
Monster
figured
Hunter
out.
Wild got its release date.
Well, what is it?
It is
Sweet.
February 28th, 2025.
Oh, so
It-
that's great.
And it is releasing on all platforms at the same time, which has me hype. Now,
I
this
really
is
don't.
somewhat the end of my news segment for video games. I'm gonna move into what I played.
Sure. I mean, we
But-
can talk about Metaphor real quick. You guys don't play Atlus, but I gotta mention it.
I heard a metaphor. Yeah.
Metaphor is a new
Sure.
game, but Atlus is a completely new IP. But Atlus has a problem that they can never stop making stuff about Persona, so it's still kind of like Persona SMT-ish. There's like, I think
Right.
Odin or Zeus shows up, which is like an SMT character, like the same design and all. And yeah, I mean, it's got a pretty similar combat style to SMT. I really really like it. From what I played on the demo, it was amazing. The new the difficulty was kind of easy, but that's to be expected from a new Atlus game. And I really like the new combat mechanics. They add a lot, and the characters were really interesting, except for the one that's literally, "Hello, I'm the guy who's decided to die," but I'm designed to die. Sorry, but like, I don't blame him. He dies pretty early on, so it's not like they're gonna invest a lot of time on him. But the other guys are so fun to talk to and interact, and the story's so interesting. You never really know where it's gonna go. Like you have a general idea, but then something fucking crazy shows up, and you're like, "Oh my god!" And
So you've played the demo. Are you gonna get the full game?
I do
eventually?
plan to do that, but I need to wait for a sale because it's insane. The regional
Gotcha.
prices in
Yeah,
Argentina are ridiculous. But yeah, I will get it. I do really want to get it because it's the only Atlus game I'm missing on playing right now that I'm interested in playing. And I think it was pretty fun. That's all I gotta say about Metaphor. It's good. If you can buy it, you should buy it. If you don't have the money, try the demo and decide if you want to play it.
At some
If
point, I
you
really
wanna
do.
support Bane getting metaphor, then check out our page.
That is true. You gotta check out the Patreon. You can donate it. $50. It's an expensive
Absolutely.
game, bro. We're gonna get
It's an
there.
So I couldn't help it.
exclusive gameplay feeds. You can hop in a Discord call with Bane, and
Yeah.
Bane will stream Metaphor for you.
Including feet cam stream.
Yep.
Let's go.
We got that
Yeah.
going on too.
Exclusively feed cam. In fact, the feed cam is going to be the majority of the screen. The gameplay will be really an afterthought. It'll just be a tiny little postage stamp.
I
Yeah.
really couldn't fucking help it.
No, I like
I've
it.
never played fully through Persona 5, but I really do want to one day. I really do.
I mean, the thing with those
Um,
games is that most people don't finish them, and I can't blame them because it's like 100 hours if you want to 100% it. Like
Yeah.
80, 30 hours. I don't know. I always 100% them, so they feel like forever to me because I talk to every guy, do every quest, and just
Right.
walk around a lot because I enjoy that. So it's usually
Yeah.
100 hours for me. So I can imagine for normal people, even finishing the story is a hassle sometimes. So I can't blame them. You know, it
Right.
really is they really do release long games.
Yeah, I played through the first
Palace?
yeah, Palace. I was gonna call it a dungeon, but no, Palace, that's the word.
No,
Yeah, I played
fair.
through the
Yeah.
first Palace in college and
Mhm.
because my roommate had a PlayStation, and then I was like, well, can't play it now. But you
Mhm.
know, now it's online on
It is on
PC.
Steam.
So at some point
Talking about
I do want to try it.
exclusives.
Yeah, that's another one that just
Yeah.
eventually it just came out. Um, d- I mean, not to linger too long on Persona, but if I do get it, would you recommend getting Royale or just the original?
I would definitely recommend Royale. You know, on
Okay.
most Atlus games, I usually recommend the re-release. There are a few exceptions, but generally, going with the new one is the safe bet because there's new characters, new story quests, like gameplay
Right.
mechanics that
So
are
it's like
updated and better.
is it
Yeah.
just essentially like the same but more? Like it doesn't change the
Persona 5
generation?
Royale, yes, it is the same but more. You can tell when there are new story bits that weren't there on the original because they feel a little out of place. But mostly, you know, it feels pretty nicely. They do a lot of gameplay changes and usually tuning, like they change difficulty and stuff, make it harder, make it less hard, make some mechanics like friendlier for newer players. So definitely recommend Persona 5 Royale over Persona 5.
Cool. I'll keep that in mind. That's definitely on my list. I do want to try that.
Yeah.
At some point.
Also, that's Kasumi, my goat. That's a new Royale character. They usually, on releases, they add like a new waifu, a new girl, and Kasumi's
Yeah.
the goat on Persona 5 Royale. So yeah, definitely get a Royale.
Okay.
Okay, Ahlkrin, we can go over. We're done with the news, I think. We got the Pokemon stuff, but I don't really want to talk about that because I don't like leaks.
I mean, there were leaks. There were leaks. Do you believe them or not? That's up to you. Look them the fuck up.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I'll say about that real quick is that you know, I always like seeing concept art and beta design. So
Mhm.
that part of the leak was exciting for me.
Yeah.
Seeing you know, seeing what Pokemon could have looked like. And I'll be honest, there were a few that I kind of liked even more. So shout out to Basculin. That was one that I
Also,
was like, damn, it looked a lot cooler actually.
last
So
thing I
that's
want to
how
say
that
about
is.
Pokemon is that Black and White was my favorite region. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
usually
Objectively,
the no, most normal opinion. Between the inner circles of like the circle girls and shit, they're gonna say Black and White isn't good, and the best one's Pokemon like the second generation. I do think the second generation is the best, but my favorite is Black and White, and I love it, and I think it's
I
generally
think-
good, and I would
I think
defend it to
Gen
the
5.
death.
I think Gen 5 is my favorite, and I would argue it's the best.
Gen 5's the one before Black and White,
Yeah.
right?
No, Gen 5 is
Gen-
Black.
It's Black
White.
and White, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I always get 5 and 6 mixed. I don't know why.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah,
You're
6 is 6 and White,
Yeah.
I think.
For me, I think Gen 5 is just so fucking iconic because
Yeah.
it's such a big Pokédex and
Yeah, the 3D
it
stuff
feels like
going
an
on.
homage to
Yeah.
it feels like an homage to Kanto.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it was also just like the peak of the
Pokemon at the time.
of the pixel art style. Like that's like
Yeah.
that was the best looking we had, and then the next one was 3D, so we didn't really even see what else they could do. And I would really love one day for them to go back and be inspired by games like Octopath Traveler,
Yeah.
and make something that is you know, a little bit more inspired by the older Pokemon art styles because that's what people want, man.
I agree.
I don't think
I don't like the 3D
people
models that much.
don't think people really are begging for another 3D game. I think people really want to see a little bit back to the basics and just
X
give
and
us some
Y
really
was the
good
first one that
place
did it, right?
to
X and Y was
yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
think X and Y was fun because it was the first time that happened, but then it got like
Yeah.
it just lost its soul, you know. It's like what's it called the fuck
By
the
Sword and
design
Shield,
choice
I
now,
think it.
yeah.
I think it definitely did. I think
Yeah.
Alola, I still look back at fondly for
I
Gen 7.
completely disagree on that one.
X and Y was
Really?
my last
I-
favorite, like my last
Interesting.
game I enjoyed.
I will give Bane for once. I could give it to Bane and not to Dan.
Damn.
Like
That's fair, man.
XY is definitely the thing. Is that XY?
I think its Mega Evolutions just are so cool. I think that's what makes it like
they are.
90%. It's Mega Evolutions, honestly.
Yeah, but and also the other thing is that you don't praise Gen 6 for XY. You praise Gen 6 because of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. That's the only thing I'm going to be real with.
That's fair too. Yeah, I think X and Y, looking back on it, were like,
I genuinely
fine.
hate
Not super
Sun and
memorable.
Moon. I genuinely hate Sun and Moon.
I'm surprised to hear that.
I respect that,
But
honestly. I don't like it either.
I did find enjoyment in Sword and Shield. I think adding in the raids was pretty fun, and the open world was an interesting take. But the other thing is that, like, they went back to their roots on like Gen 7, where they're like, let's try a story where you build the Pokemon League and do these stupid island challengers. It's like you remove the badges, like, dude.
Yeah,
No,
that's
yeah.
fair. I mean, that's gonna get
absolutely
pushed back, but I still think it was interesting. I mean, not all of them were like as fun. Some of them were just like stupid.
I think one of my biggest
then,
complaints
like,
with Pokemon. Yeah, you keep going. Sorry, I thought you were.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say, like, it was interesting. It felt right to do a new system. You were in
I like experimenting.
a new region with it just didn't have enough people. It wasn't like fully populated like the other regions. They didn't have a gym system, so I thought it was cool. Now if they keep doing it, it's gonna lose its allure. But that's that. What were we gonna say, Bane?
I was gonna add on to that first. I like it when they experiment. Honestly, I think that's very, very great to do, especially on like something that some people may look at it and be like, "Oh, Pokemon's like I'll copy and paste of the same game, right?" Like usually the same, you do the same stuff, it's the same major objective and shit. But like, I like it when they experiment. A big reason of why that's one of the things I like about Sun and Moon. Honestly, the whole no badges thing. I like. I didn't like the new mechanic. Fuck, what was it called? What's that with the Giganto thingy? Was that the Pokemon?
Gigamax.
Gigamax.
Exactly, yeah.
That was Gigamax. I did not like Gigamax, especially because I played a competitive Pokemon at the time, and that was not fun.
Damn, you were a VGCer?
I was a BGCer. I dropped it because it was not good for my mental health, but I was a BGCer.
Interesting. I've always wanted to try it, but I realized, like, damn, I'm kind of ass at this. Like, I don't know.
I mean, that's the main thing I usually like. Once I feel like I'm decent, like at a decent level, I usually get bored of it. I like being ass on things and improving at them. I just love being ass.
Most of my experience with VGC is Pokemon Showdown, because
I do Pokemon
the random
Showdown
teams.
Yeah,
because like it's for me, my enjoyment of Pokemon was not like catching a bunch of the same Pokemon, finding the best one and training it. For me, that's not fun, but I know that's an appeal to so many people. I took the shiny hunting route, so Sun and Moon was the first time I really dedicated to shiny hunting, and that was a lot of fun.
I shiny hunted on 2nd gen, I think, when I played for the 2nd time.
Ooh,
it was very fun.
That's cool. On the original console, or
no, I never had a Nintendo, so I always had to emulate. Legally, of course. I'm just saying, if any Nintendo people, I'm just illegally emulated on my PC by buying the game and then like doing stuff.
doing the stuff that I mean, I wouldn't want to bore you with the details.
You don't just want to go. I don't want to go into
You know what doesn't bore people with the details?
What does? What doesn't?
The rest of the games I played this month.
Okay, we can go for that.
Okay. I got the Dead Rising Deluxe remaster.
Oh hell
and I played through it. I had a lot of fun.
I'm glad. I got no opinions about it.
I enjoyed seeing a little bit of that stream.
I'm hoping. Ridiculous. Oh yeah, like when I grabbed the when I grabbed the cash register and threw it at the zombie.
Yeah, you were just fucking shit up in a mall. It was really cool. I liked that. It was a cool environment.
That's what Dead Rising as a series is all about, and that's like it is supposed it's supposed to be like dark-ish in a way, but it's also a comedy because you're able to do whatever the fuck you want, and it actually encourages this with different endings. So the first Dead Rising I ever played was Dead Rising 2, because that was free on Xbox during the time.
Oh yeah.
And so what you do in that game is you do have a storyline, but you also have the timer, and you have a secondary timer for your daughter Katie, where you have to get the medication called Zombrex, and you have to make sure that she gets it every 12 hours. If you don't, then she dies, and that impacts the ending. So you have your ending of the like one choice you made during the storyline, and completing all the missions at time, or you could get the worst ending possible, which is where you get you go. One moment.
Okay. So Dead Rising, I never played it. Just getting my opinion out here right quick. I never played it. Is it the game based on the movies? I think it's the game based on the movies, right? Wait, Dead Rising. Wait, I might think of the wrong one. 1 second.
Right. It might be a movie series.
Oh no, I know Dead Rising. Yes, this is the one with the guy who goes around with his fucking camera. I played Dead Rising 2 or 1, I think, on the Xbox.
Sweet.
Damn, I never played the remaster. Oh, I know this Dead Rising. Yeah, I know this.
Yeah, I actually never
gosh.
really heard about it, but I watched a little bit of its stream, and it did look fun. It looked
No,
like
I did play it. I didn't see anything of the remaster. Oh my god.
Dad came on in, but yeah, no, Dead Rising.
No worries.
I should have let it off, but it's a Capcom game. So, like a Capcom zombie game, there's no shot in hell that it was serious.
Dude, it's really fucking funny though. It's
It is
really
funny.
fucking
No,
funny.
you
The
can-
fucking
you can
clown
get the
fight.
worst-
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, to be fair, that clown fight is actually insanely fun and very
is.
vital. But on the side of that, you could get the worst ending possible, which is where you don't do any story missions, and you don't take care of your daughter, which I don't think it matters with the worst ending if you take care of your daughter or not, because what happens is that when the timer runs out, if you don't progress the story, then the mall, super casino, whatever it is that you're at, that place gets bombed.
I don't think I ever got that ending. I played Dead Rising once on the Xbox when I was a teenager. I fucking loved it. But I did one ending only.
And that's only Dead Rising 2. Dead Rising 2, because there's a zombie outbreak, so they quarantined the casino or whatever. And if you do fuck all, then you play the dumb game, win the dumb prize. I know.
That's just the one with you. Do you have to take care of your daughter in both of them, or only one?
Yes.
I don't remember which one I played. I think it was in a mall though. It wasn't a casino, or was it?
Because there's two in a mall. One that's if you you said Xbox,
360.
360. Yep, it was a 360 freebie. So you probably played the same one I did.
I see.
Yeah. But yes, so it is funny. I'm going back to the first one. I never played the original Dead Rising, so playing through the remaster was really nice. I do hope damn it, I should have saved that article. But there was an article on my Google I'm gonna start calling it Google's For You page, but on there, where it commented about Capcom's take for a sequel to the Dead Rising
The Rising 3 then? Is it that?
Well,
Is
no,
that the
no,
next
no,
one, or
because
is it 4?
we do have Dead Rising 3
We
and
do?
4 and 4.
No fucking way. There's 4 Dead Rising games.
There is, and the fourth one burned the series down. But,
Jesus, there's 4 of them. I never even knew that.
Of the second one would go hard, and a few people really wanted that. And they in the article they talked about it, which I can't remember what they said about it or whatever. But I'm hoping they do deluxe remaster Dead Rising 2. That'd be really fun. And if they do, I'm hoping that they don't not only deluxe remaster it, but they also add in to the deluxe remaster all of the DLC, because the second one had actual story DLC. 3 of them to be exact. You had Case Zero, which was also free for us Xbox players. And it takes place before Dead Rising 2. You then have Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, which is an alternative non-canon playthrough of the storyline of Dead Rising 2 itself. Only you play as Frank West, who is the protagonist from the first game.
Oh, they changed protagonists?
Yes,
Isn't it always?
because
I thought it was always the same guy.
In the first game, it's Frank West. In the second game, it's Chuck Green.
Is it,
in the third game, it's
which one's
Nick.
with the photographer? Is the photographer the first one?
The photographer is the first game with Frank West.
And you have to take care of the daughter there, right?
No. Chuck Green takes care of his daughter. He's the entertainer, the bike, the motorcycle entertainer guy.
Oh yeah, that's the one I played then.
Yeah,
I think I might have played both of them actually, because I have memories of both. Like I remember playing as a camerographer, and I remember playing as the biker too. Mm-hmm. Maybe I played both of them, and they just mixed in my head.
The third one is Nick, and Nick is just a mechanic, but Nick is also Hispanic, and he's pretty cool. But then the fourth one, we return to Frank, and I don't know. The fourth game is so soulless. Oh my fucking god! But I hope.
I can't imagine that Dead Rising without soul. Like that game just has so much soul, so much personality, so much love put into it. Like you just don't stop laughing, and the idea is just silly. You're just trapped in a mall. You take pictures for the fucking. You just to post them, you get scores based on the pictures you take, and then you fight a deranged mall guy, a fucking clown person, and the gameplay is so it's such a fun take in a zombie game. Like, oh yeah, we already have the cure, but you can still go and do crazy shit because entertainment.
Yeah. Yes, but they tried to streamline it too much.
Mm-hmm. No, I can imagine.
They try to shove the story way too much down your throat and such. It's just. Oh my god, the fourth.
I believe you. I believe
it's
totally.
Whack.
There's a reason why I haven't heard about the third and fourth games, probably.
The third one, while I'm not huge on the third one at least kept a lot. Like the third one's leagues better than the fourth one. The third one's fine.
Is it on the third one is on Steam? Or is it just a remake?
All of them are on Steam.
I see.
Including the original, I think. I think the original. I mean, they could have taken down the original.
Sometimes they do that, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Sometimes it does, but
I mean, the original's there. So
you can always legally emulate.
Yeah.
There you go. So the remaster is of the first one, or is it like?
It's of the first one.
Oh, okay.
It's of the first one.
I'm not huge on remasters, but I might try it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very fun. It's very fun. I loved it. So moving on to my final played on the list, because I don't know how long we've been recording, and we're only in the first section.
Yeah, we've been recording for almost 2 hours now. Like, I don't know how.
Okay, yeah. So because of that, I think I'm going to hold back on a few of these points and save a few of them for next time, because I don't want to spend too much time on movies and TV shows, because I push back so much time for my brother. After this, by the way, to the viewers watching, I'm heading out to go hang out with my brother. But yeah. But finally, we're talking about back to my favorite mobile game. Yeah, Marvel Strike Force.
Oh my
The game
god.
everyone cares about. And no one fucking cares about Marvel Strike Force. Oh my god. But the only thing I bring up about this, and no, I am not talking about the drama and the shit that they're in right now with the change of their like going more like monetized way, we'll say. But what I'm going to talk about is that they released more information on the upcoming new game mode called Battle World, and in the first chapter of Battle World, we're getting a new boss fight. We are getting Null, the symbiote god.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yes, I love that guy. He has a cool sword.
He does. I think it's like this. What isn't it like the Black Sword or something?
Yeah, I think it's called something like that. Yeah, I mean, it is a
yeah.
black sword. I don't know if it's
that-
called it. I think it's called something different. I think it showed up in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because it's the same sword that Gore the God Butcher
Yeah.
has.
Gore, yeah, he has that sword. Which is, you know, I
Fuck.
think it's a waste to use the sword in a movie like that. But we're not gonna talk about the MCU right now. You can keep talking about
Yeah,
no.
no, that just. I could go on in a whole different rant for that, so I won't. We'll save it for next time, wherever the fuck we go.
Hey, if there's any MCU movies, we can just get into it. But for now, there's not.
I still value my life, so I will not be commenting. I guess this is how we segue into the movie section. I value my life, so I am not going to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine because I'm pretty damn sure
Oh my
that
god,
movie
he didn't
is
like
still
it.
in theaters.
Oh, it is. Right?
So because it's still in theaters, that means potentially there's people out there that haven't watched it yet. And because that was such a good film, and that's not even sarcasm,
Hell
I'm being
yeah.
genuine. Because that was such a good film, I don't want to spoil anything for it. So
That's
yeah.
fair.
Maybe in the November or December episode of our podcast.
Okay, the
I
movie's
could
not
talk
that
about
good
my
to be
thoughts.
waiting a whole month to just talk about it.
No, I would still be waiting. It's like it actually came out back in the summer, like the end of summer. So it's, but like it is that good that they're gonna keep showing it.
Hey, if you want to
in
find some
theaters
time
for-
to watch it together, I would watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's really good.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You
we'll
watched it,
watch
Ahlkrin?
that together. Bane, you've seen it, right?
I've
be
seen
fun.
it, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm down to
Yeah, I
rewatch
didn't see
stuff.
it yet, but I do want to see it. I want to see it eventually.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely worth the watch, and it's hilarious. But
Especially if you're into
yeah.
older Marvel stuff, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, fine, fuck it. There is one thing we will talk about for the MCU.
Oh my
and
god,
it
what is he
is
gonna mention?
the Deadpool Wolverine. It's the chick behind She-Hulk is suing Marvel. And like she was taking pot shots at Ryan Reynolds because she felt the Deadpool versus Wolverine movie was way too violent and didn't focus enough on the storyline, and she felt like that the movie shafted too much of the female cast, which
Oh
is
my
an
god.
opinion. But yeah, not to get like feminist, anti-feminist or whatever. But anywho, it's like
Let's not
I'm
get
sorry,
into
but
that
I think
culture
this-
fight. I hate being
Yeah,
on the
let's not.
side of the people that are like against this person, but oh my god, what?
It's
That's
like
that's
there's
a
a
bad
time and place for
opinion.
everything. Okay, Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds has like we all know what Deadpool as a movie is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
We all know how it flows, how it feels, and it's like okay. For example, this is like me going and playing Call of Duty and bitching that there's no RPG level up mechanic.
I'm
Like
not sure if it's comparable. I see
it's
where
just,
you're coming from.
at least that's how it feels to me. It's I feel like that. Yes, Deadpool does have character development, but I feel like that Deadpool is all like it's not.
Oh yeah,
completely
it's
out
all about
of character,
it's
but
about jokes. I
but
thought you were talking about
it
the female, how they use the female characters in the movie. Because I feel like complaining about
no,
that
no,
is
no,
kind of valid.
no. The thing about that I feel like is that I feel like Deadpool was like it's there. It's like it's just supposed to be like I don't want to say mindless, but the humor comes off that way, and that's actually one of the reasons why I like Deadpool so much is that
Deadpool's good. Yeah.
like I don't know what the fuck is coming out of Ryan Reynolds' mouth next.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a dick comment. It could be a break of the fourth wall. It could be a pot shot at a studio. It could be anything, and
You know
it's
how long I've been waiting for
kind of
this?
fucking hilarious. Like
You know how long
to
I've been
me,
waiting for
anyway.
this? I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Yeah. It's I don't go in expecting. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not like, oh yeah, we gotta focus on the. I mean, it's an action. Like it's all supposed to be like gory and stuff because Deadpool can regenerate, so you can like. I mean, when you have two characters that can regenerate, that's like the perfect opportunity to just fucking destroy them all and just have them keep
Yeah.
regenerating and keep fighting and keep using their abilities in like fun ways. You know, like just fucking break your own arm to just hit the other person. And yeah, I mean, I think maybe the female cast comment is valid, but I feel like the main antagonist is a female, and like
yeah.
she does an okay job at that. You know, I mean, it's Marvel villain levels of of character. You know, it's not a real character, but so they're not like any other
And
fucking
even
Marvel
with the
villains.
limited screen time she got, I would like I felt the connection I needed to feel to understand that villain.
I
Like
disagree, but
for me,
sure,
anyway.
it wasn't one of my biggest problems with the movie. You know, I don't
Like
have that
I
many problems with
felt
the movie. You know, it's like going, it's like
no,
some kind of people just judge like comedy movies like this, like they're supposed to be a masterpiece. I feel like they have different, what's it called, different purposes. You know, it's like going to eat ice cream and rating it as if it was like a hamburger. You know, like they're doing different things. You know,
exactly.
one's not trying to feed you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like just like something you do on the side, and it does its purpose. You know, it's a really nice ice cream. You know, I really enjoy that ice cream. But if I really want to feed myself, I'm gonna get a good hamburger.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah.
it's the same with
That's a good
Deadpool
way to put
movies.
it.
Yeah, exactly, and I agree with that. I don't want to again. I don't want to stay too much longer on the MCU topic. Last thing,
Mhm.
and this isn't even MCU. This is Sony. But the only thing I'm gonna bring up on my upcoming for my upcoming tab is Venom 3 drops this month, and I'm definitely looking
I'm
forward to
gonna
seeing
watch
that.
that. I'm gonna watch the fuck out of that one. I
Really
hated
fun.
Venom 2 though. Venom 2 was so mid. It was so
Oh,
mid.
okay.
I couldn't
And
believe. I
I
love the
think
first one, not because it got a good plot or anything,
Yeah.
but because Venom and fucking Eddie had such good interactions. You're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I fucking love.
Oh yeah,
But like Venom 2, I feel like it lacked on that a lot and just
it did.
did a
It
terrible
did.
carnage. That
I'm
was such a
not.
bad
I'm
carnage. I
not.
hated that carnage.
I'm not. I'm not going to overlook the problems
Hmm.
with Venom 2.
Yeah, if you liked it, you
I
liked it. You know.
I enjoyed it because I finally got to see my favorite Marvel character of all time on the big screen.
Carnage.
Yes,
I
Carnage is my
respect it.
favorite Marvel character.
I think they did a terrible carnage. I think that's a big reason why I
They
disliked
did
it.
not do a good Carnage, but the way
Yeah.
I'm looking at it is that they did a Carnage rather than never getting a Carnage.
You know, I feel like that's kind of conformist, but I get what you mean. You know, it's cool to see him
Like
finally out there.
I'm taking what I can fucking get.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
that's the person I am in a lot of different things. That I take what I can fucking get. Okay, I could sit here and be a critic all fucking day, but I like what I like, and like I wish they could have done Carnage differently. It led to a very mediocre performance, but you know, I think that that having that is definitely better than not having it.
Sure.
For me anyway.
Okay.
And but there is without a doubt that I feel like that this upcoming movie is gonna blow the second one out of the water.
I agree, honestly. Just judging from the trailers alone, they seem like they're gonna really focus on what makes Venom awesome and what made the first movie like so enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
It's just trailers, but it's the vibe I got from them.
Yeah.
Watching the trailers for Venom 2, I was like, I already got a bad vibe from them. Watching the Carnage trailer, I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this one.
Oh, if you get those vibes from a trailer, that's usually not a good sign.
Yeah.
Dan, did you did you watch any of the Venom movies? Did you like Venom at all, or?
Yeah, I actually haven't seen them, but it's something that I'm interested in. I do want to watch them, because
Number one.
I'm down to watch them either on my own or with you guys, because I do like the character.
Legally,
and I
of
do,
course.
And I've seen
we watch our movies legally, 100%.
I do have Disney Plus,
I've seen a lot of
actually.
the memes, and I do want to finally watch it, but I just haven't.
Yeah, that'd be
gotten around
awesome.
to it. Because I do like Venom a lot, and I'm curious to see what has gone on in the first two, so I could see the third one too.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Now for my watch, I have a whole ass I have a whole ass list and whatever. I'm only gonna bring up two out of this watch, and I'm saving the rest for next time because again I'm crunched for time. I saw that movie I was excited for the trailer. I know that's very descriptive, but Afraid with the AI capitalized one.
I remember that one.
Yeah, no, I saw it. It was
how was that?
It was mid. As expected, it was definitely mid.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I thought I like the concept, but yeah, no, it even I had too much high expectations for that one, and I go in my movies kind of like prepared for the worst to be like, I'm so glad I watched it, and I barely able to say that about Afraid. Interesting premise, but yeah. The next one I'll talk about is fuck it. No, I'm going to say no details, none whatsoever, because I know Dan is interested in watching this.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it Longlegs?
I genuinely believe Longlegs is a contender for best film of the year.
Jeez, I'm
actually watching.
That's not even like best horror of the year. I think that Longlegs should be given a role in awards. I don't know if we're talking about like Emmy, Oscar, whatever the hell they do for movie awards. Like any of those basic bitch award shows. Like I think Longlegs deserves a title somewhere, just as a nomination or as a winner. But yeah, it deserves somewhere. Longlegs was that good, and I think that it's that good even to the general audience. Like it was really good and very interesting. And yeah, no more comments on it because I refuse to spoil it for Dan.
Yeah, I do want to watch it. I'm gonna see. So my girlfriend's visiting next weekend, and I do want to do some some get in the spooky season mood and all that, and watch some horror movies with her. So that's gonna be one I suggest to her to see if she wants to watch it.
Yeah,
I'll definitely let you know what I think if we do watch it, because I mean, hearing you say that, it's got me pretty excited, man. Like, if you're giving it that praise, then I guarantee you that it was good, and I'm excited to see how good it is.
I think even the basic bitch audience that doesn't watch horror movies at all can really like Longlegs, because it takes a turn. It's definitely an investigator storyline, and those tend to do well. But Bane, what have you watched any movies in the last 2 months?
I actually think I haven't, believe it or not.
I mean, that's fair. I didn't even explain the main reason why that we all agreed let's skip September. Bane had exams. Dan got a new job and rightfully busy. And
Yeah.
my mental health and emotional health took a dip.
Damn.
So,
Sorry to hear
like,
that.
I asked everyone. It's okay. I started counseling again, but
Hey,
yeah,
that's great, man.
but I remember asking. I don't remember exactly our words or our conversation here. But yeah, we were originally looking for like like we were all looking at times and oh yeah, here it is. I asked this Saturday, friends, and then Dan was saying done with work, might be hanging out. Bane said sure they can't do long ab exams coming up, and then I asked if exams are coming up, do you just want to take this month off the pod? I'm gonna be real, nothing good is happening on my end. Everything else is releasing either next week or next month, and I won't have too much to talk about the more I think about it, unless I miss a major video game convention that I can't remember, which to this day I still don't remember any big video game conventions happening since
Didn't
our last
Nintendo
pod.
something happen? I don't know.
Oh yeah, we missed the Nintendo Direct, and I can't remember. Oh,
You got
they
the
showed more
Zelda
stuff
game.
For Mario. They did for the Zelda game and for Mario and Luigi Brothers ship. We finally got like an in-depth trailer about that. Which
Yes,
cool.
I did watch that. That looks amazing.
Did anything else get released? I don't think so.
No, literally nothing else happened at the
The
beginning.
Nintendo Alarmo, guys.
Oh yeah! Did you like the Zelda
You know how
game,
much
Dan,
money
or
it
do you
is?
not play it?
How
Yeah.
much? It's the alarm bell.
$100 fucking dollars.
Oh my
Jesus
alarm
Christ!
clock.
Do you want
Yeah.
to spend $100 on a fucking alarm clock? I have my phone for that.
That is.
Yeah, I could literally download like Nintendo music and make it my alarm if I wanted to.
If you want to wake up to the Me Shop theme, then yeah, you
Do,
fucking
do,
can.
do,
I will say it looks
do.
cool, but like that's all I can say about it. Like it looks cool, the price is
Like-
insane, and it's
like,
just a fucking.
I
clock.
love consuming. I love Nintendo. I love
I mean,
consuming.
you know, it's cool that they're gonna be, they're making new shit and they're always trying to, show off the technology that they're working on. But like, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna have people that are like, going to GameStop or Target, buying every fucking alarm clock to scalp. It's just a silly fucking concept. But you know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen? Like, people are gonna scalp these things,
Hmm.
and that I think it's silly. But that's fine. We will get the Switch 2 news when it's time. I'm not worried about that. We'll get it when it comes.
I'm excited about what games are coming out for the Switch too, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
what franchise they're thinking about. Maybe the next Pokemon's gonna come out on the Switch too.
It could.
When's the last Pokemon?
Yeah, I
Actually, it's
think
been a while, right?
Dragon Rose.
What was the last? Scarlet
The
and Violet?
most recent
Last
one
year,
was
no?
Scarlet Violet.
Okay, so it's been
It was last year, wasn't it?
2022. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so it's not. Why does it feel since it was
Sorry,
so
sorry,
long
Violet,
ago?
yeah.
Wow. Feels like it was forever ago.
Hey, don't be rushing Game Freak because we know.
No, hell no. I don't want to rush it. I was like, I was in my head. I was like, oh, maybe it's about time for like a Pokemon game. Like, I don't want to rush him, but it's
Right.
like, oh, usually around this time we'd get a new Pokemon game.
Yeah.
It's true.
Hey, man.
I like that taking
if
longer.
They realize, if they finally realize, let's take
Yeah,
longer
let's
and
actually-
just fucking let's actually make something good. Like let's make something that's actually great. I mean, I know we're going back to video games here, but I'll just say I really did want to like Legends Arceus, and as much as I tried, it let me down. It really let me down.
Didn't they release the next Legends game, or are they releasing that soon, or something?
I think I heard
I
something
think
about
next
it.
year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Legends.
We don't have any information really on it yet, but
Oh, 7A.
Other than,
Yeah,
like, it's-
I mean Seat A. Well, how do you pronounce that?
it's gonna be Z. I mean, Z is
ZA.
Canadian or British, but
Seat.
depends on
Who
the
knows?
English you learn.
The biggest
Yeah,
hope I'm holding on to is that maybe we'll get maybe one or two new Mega Evolutions. I'm not holding my breath.
I think
Oh,
I think there'll be more than that. It's focused in
They
Lucio
would
City.
ruin
And,
the game if they didn't add more. Come
they
on.
are not giving us new Megas. What we're going to do with
You don't think so?
what it's gonna be is just like Legends of Arceus. We might get new forms of some Pokemon. That is
There's
it.
no
I
way.
don't-
We gotta get Mega. There's no way you do it on X and
I
Y
guarantee
base.
megas are gonna.
There
I
gotta
guarantee-
be
because,
Megas.
They
They're like the
I
most
love
popular
it, but if they-
fucking franchise. Like the most
they have,
popular
the logo.
mechanic
Even
of the
logo,
franchise.
there's, like,
Yeah.
the mega icon.
Yeah, come on. It's like
I'm
the thing
hoping-
of the
I'm
franchise
hoping-
too.
Hey,
I'm
listen,
hoping,
listen.
but-
If there's any company that could disappoint,
It is.
so
That is true.
it's good. It's possible. It's definitely
Yeah.
possible. But if they don't do new megas, yeah, it's
That
not
will
gonna
be
it's not gonna
fumbling the
great.
bag so bad. It will be a surprise even for Game Freak.
It really would be. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping I'm hoping for something exciting.
Yeah.
Basically the premise from what I've gathered from the very, very initial teaser trailer was like you're gonna be like rebuilding, or I guess just building for the first time, Lumio City, like you're in the past. And I think that has potential. My only concerns for that is like if you are in a very limited area the whole game, if there's no room to explore, it it might end up feeling a little bit boring. But you know what? We'll wait and see what happens.
We'll let them cook for now.
But as far as I'm concerned, they should take as much time as they need. I don't need a new game in the next few months.
I got
at
too
all,
much stuff.
and I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy to wait and really let them cook something good. Now that segue is done, I will say I think I only really saw one new movie from last time we spoke. I saw the TV Glow.
Oh, yeah, my
was
brother
just
watched that.
hearing, was just hearing a lot of pretty positive feedback, and hearing the people that said that it was a really touching movie. That was one of those movies that you leave the theater, or you close the TV, and you just think about it for some time. And so I went into it with I guess kind of inflated expectations, right? Because I heard a lot of good things about it. And I will say I liked it. I don't think it touched me personally as much as other people. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious now. It's not much of a spoiler. But I think that there's a lot of like trans allegories in the movie.
Yeah, I
which
heard
is,
about it.
Honestly, I think it's yeah, I think that's a great message, and I definitely could see yeah, I could see that the like the writing was captivating, and it was like a really interesting movie. Like it had me on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I was very curious as to see where it would go. I didn't relate to it as much personally as other people, but that's fine. I mean, I still enjoyed it, and I think it was a good uh a good movie for what it was for that. And it's probably something that I would end up rewatching to see to pick up on some things. But I really did enjoy it, and it was, God, I don't know, it's like the first like new movie I've seen in quite some time. So I really enjoyed it. It was a good experience. And definitely disturbing too towards the end. It wasn't so much a horror movie, which I don't think it was ever advertised. Maybe it was advertised as a horror movie. It was more I would say it was more like unsettling. I have it here on Google, just so I see, like, they do categorize it as horror drama, but then they say that it's kind of like surreal, and I would say that's a great way to put it. Like, it's definitely disturbing. I don't think it's like scary,
Yeah.
but it's creepy and unsettling. And I really really liked the main character. I thought he played a great job, and he yeah, I mean, he had a really strong performance. So I liked it a lot, and I'm curious to see what else I pick up on a rewatch, because it's one of those movies that I think is definitely something that you'd benefit from rewatching. But yeah, that's about it for that movie. I thought it was good. I definitely recommend watching it. It has some really good themes and messaging, and it's I think it's something that everyone can
Yeah. I would like to watch it eventually.
can appreciate. Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to it on different levels, but I think that's a sign of success in good writing.
I did
And then
watch one
otherwise,
movie.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I did. Now that I'm checking, it's a Japanese movie. Surprisingly, it's called One Cut of the Dead. It's about a group of filmmakers that start filming a zombie movie when they're actually suddenly attacked by real zombies. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta go into this movie blind, and I think it's a really good movie.
Okay.
The only problem I had with it is that they kind of handhold you through the answer. Like, they give you all the hints, and then they like show you the whole answer play out, and you're like, I really didn't need to watch this. I had all the puzzle pieces connected. I didn't really need you to lay out the whole thing for me at the end. But I enjoyed it quite a lot. I think it's a love letter to movie making. Definitely, as somebody who was studying filmmaking, I can relate to a lot of the a lot of the stress that comes from having a deadline that's very soon to come, and people not wanting to cooperate, and what else, like the weather not wanting to work with you. You have like this little frame of time to just shoot so many scenes, and you end up stressing yourself out. You go home and you're like, fuck, we gotta do this all again tomorrow, and schedules don't align. And I think if you watch this, you really get that full experience of fuck it, being in the movie making business. It's really stressing, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. I think it's a really good movie. I love zombie movies myself. That those are my like guilty pleasure, because I don't think they're like that many good zombie movies. I think there's one really good one with Cillian Murphy, which is, I think it's called 21 Days Later, or yeah, I think it's 21 Days Later.
That
And
has a whole ass franchise.
yeah, I know 21 Weeks Later sucks, and now they're gonna release 21 Years Later. I wanna check it out. I think 21 Days Later is amazing. I think it's the best zombie movie ever. And I think it's a really good movie overall. But usually zombie movies are pretty crappy. I'm not gonna lie. Usually they're pretty crappy, but I enjoy them nonetheless. Those are my guilty pleasure. And this is
Yeah, that
not a
sounds like
guilty
an
pleasure.
interesting
This was
concept.
actually a really good movie. This was
If
actually a
I'm
good
gonna
movie.
be real, I think my favorite, and this is insane for like coming from me, because no one expects me to be the Japanese guy, but my favorite one is Train to Busan.
That's actually Korean, you racist.
Korean. I'm sorry.
But Train to Busan is really good. I think I would have that on my top 3. I think my top is 21 Days Later, One Cut of the Dead, and then Train to Busan. I think that is my top.
I think that like I so normally, okay, so I'm gonna be real. I know normally I do not mind when it's like, oh, there's when there's an American adaptation of something. Like, for example, I did not mind, and I actually frankly enjoyed the American adaptations of The Ring and The Grudge.
Oh my
But
god. Oh my god.
even though
Oh no.
I do 100% accept that Ringu and I don't know what the term, what the actual what the Japanese Grudge movies go by, but those are definitely Ju-on.
Yeah,
That's what
Juwan.
they're called. Ju-on and Ringu are definitely superior to the Grudge and the Ring. 100%. I will not debate that. It is superior. And other examples of which aren't even Japanese. The other examples are there's there was it's Wreck and something else, but it's like uh, the one where it's like there's the hotel and the firefighters go on into it and the paramedics, but
I
then
know that one.
because there's like an outbreak or what, or quarantine. That's what it was called. I think that was the American adaptation. But yeah, it was. Yeah, you have that. The one thing I will say is that the Last Train to New York was definitely a hot garbage concept.
No, that
And
doesn't ring a
Last
bell.
Train to New York.
Oh, is that a Last Train to
It-
Busan? Is that like an adaptation of it?
Yep.
Oh
it's an
my
American
god.
adaptation
I
of
think this
Last Train
idea of like, oh, we have to make an American version of it because our audiences wouldn't want to watch like Asian, like that's insane to me as a concept. First of all, you can just watch the original movie, even if you can't watch the
That
like.
is insane to me as a concept, but like I know people that literally are.
I know.
At least my brother. It's just like he's just like, yeah, I just don't want to read subtitles.
I mean, you can
And it's just-
listen. I have my grudges against dubbing, but you can dub a movie. You don't need to remake it from scratch just to add some like a dub.
Yeah,
you know,
could.
like I think that's
absolutely.
insane.
Like I'm so this is gonna be the final point that we talked about before we just segue into TV shows, because I'm gonna leave the rest of it for next time.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm gonna save what I've been watching, because the only thing I've been watching in terms of TV shows, like non-anime, I bet my friend the Vittoria has got me started on the series From. But other than that, like, I'll ask Dan about this stuff. But this is the only thing I'm going to talk about on the about the sub versus dub. And after it, I'm gonna shut down the conversation, and I'm not gonna hear it from anybody.
Okay.
Go for it.
Everyone's allowed to have their preference,
I agree.
but when it comes down to the thought process that dubbing should not exist, and that, like, especially for anime, that it should all be subbed or don't watch it at all, I think that is a very selfish and just.
I mean, there are blind people as well. You know, like there are blind people. I think that's fucked.
The reason why there are people out here that, like the Vittoras, for example, they cannot deal with subtitles on the screen because it's an overstimulation. Like, we're talking a full-blown breakdown if there's subtitles on the screen and, the, like, non-English. So dub has to exist for people.
No, yeah, for sure.
Like,
I mean,
thinking that dub should never exist is a shitty.
I think my problem with dubbing isn't with dubbing itself, it's on the quality. It's usually a lot worse than the original. Like, usually the original actors put so much soul into the screaming and things, and then you hear the dubbers and you're like, it seems that they're shy or something. Like, they don't want to scream like that. They're like, oh no, that's embarrassing.
I personally feel that. I
think that's my problem with dubbing.
With Demon Slayer. I don't like the Demon Slayer dub whatsoever.
Yeah, why are you so afraid of screaming, bro? And it's not like we don't have good voice actors that speak English. We have amazing voice actors that we can see in animated movies and stuff. Why don't
there's even dub voice actors who take offense to what you just said, Bane, on Twitter, like, because that is a major fucking oversaid opinion on how, like, well, I don't like dubbing because I don't feel like that they like, but that they put a lot of that, they don't put the soul into it. Then you have the amazing actors that we do have.
You have amazing actors,
and they will take to Twitter and say, well, they're out. They are literally crying in the booth during their scenes because they have to cry.
It's usually the hype scenes, honestly. It's usually the hype scenes that just are the most disappointing. Compare the Attack on Titan dub with the original. Compare the most hype scenes where the people are screaming. Except for Erwin. Let me just preface this before anyone jumps on me. The Erwin scene is really good, and I really like the English dub. I'm talking about the "you fucking traitors." That scene. Oh my god! It's just like hearing the English though. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! Can you please? You know, it's like, was this the first cut and just put that one in, or like what's going on here? Because I don't know. I don't like it at all.
I
But
also and
very mixed on
like
the Attack on Titan
again,
dub.
this is going. This is the end of the discussion. This is a rant that
Mhm.
everyone else can have, and whatever. And you can have this like the conversation about how dub should not exist in the comment section below, and I will be sure to delete those comments. But uh I personally liked the Fate dub for the Heaven's Feel trilogy. I really did enjoy it. The sub was
Yeah, I
not
watched
bad.
it honestly.
I enjoyed, but I enjoyed the Unlimited Blade Works dubbing, the Zero dubbing, and the Heaven's Feel movie trilogy dubbing. I think that they did really well. Yes, that is me giving credit to Kirito's voice actor, because the actor has talent, but Kirito does not. Okay, moving on to
You know,
shutting that down and
real
throwing
quick,
the mic
I actually
over to
prefer
Nate.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners dub to the sub. So it's not that I'm just like dead set against dubbing sucks always.
That's
It's just
actually mind blowing.
Oh, interesting.
usually just worse.
That sub was amazing.
I
No,
think
I didn't
Cyberpunk.
watch the dub of it, but I really liked the sub. I mean, I
I've
just
seen
liked the
both,
series.
and
It was good.
that sub was amazing. Like
I like
I
the
comment
dub of
about
Edge
Demon
Runners.
Slayer. I prefer Demon Slayer in sub. Oh my god, I don't like that dubbing at all. But
Edge
I do
Runners
like
has
the
such a
Demon
good
Slayer.
dub though. You know when they call people
It
Choom
does
and
have
you're
a
like,
good dub.
oh my god! I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's better than the original. I like it a lot more when the Choom, the Nova.
Disagree with that, but no,
I think it's amazing.
It
I
does
love
have a
it.
good dub. It is amazing. I think the sub definitely takes it, but moving moving
Sure,
on.
we can move on.
Moving on. Unless you guys have any more movies
That's it.
that
I literally just watched the
I think
one.
that's it.
No, that's
Okay.
it for me. And I
This
have
is-
one thing meant to mention for TV,
Then,
but that's about it.
Dan, take the stage. What'd you watch? It doesn't
Sure,
matter if it's non-anime or anime all at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's
Okay.
actually not something I've watched yet, but yeah, when my girlfriend's coming, we might check out the new season of American Horror Story.
Okay.
I don't know how to feel about it because I lately I just haven't cared about any of the newer seasons of that show. So we're gonna give it a try, and if it's not good, I'll probably watch with her some of the like the first 2 or 3 seasons because I really liked those. Like Coven. Well, Coven was all right, but the Asylum and Murder House I really enjoyed. And so, I'm gonna give this new season a chance. I'm pretty sure it's based on the Backrooms, which I think is really fucking stupid.
That is
but
so stupid.
I'll give it a
The
chance, I
fucking
guess.
I hate when they
think
bring
it's-
online stuff into the fucking big screen. It's
Yeah.
just or like the
It's-
small screen, I
it's
guess,
really,
but
really stupid.
it's just
But I guess
it's so
a
hard to
little part
take
of me is
seriously, you know.
curious.
It's so hard to nail it as a concept as well because it's just such a ridiculous thing. It's like, oh yeah, let's do the back rooms, yeah.
Right. It's like such a nothing thing now where I just have to be a little bit curious. I have to see what they do.
No, yeah, for sure.
And if it's good, great. But I really don't have any expectations, so I'm just gonna try it.
Yeah, that's the best way to go into
other-
things.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, I know that they have like an anthology series, the American Horror Stories. That I might enjoy a little bit more. I haven't seen
Was
that.
it
So
Netflix original, the American Horror Stories anthology? Wasn't that Netflix?
it might be.
I don't know. Continue. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I mean, that's all I really have to say about it. I haven't seen it, but I like I like anthologies. I like the idea of these self-contained episodes. I think you are forced as a writer to put a lot more into it to captivate people, and I do like that. I mean,
Like the first
I
seasons
watched
of Black
the
Mirror.
majority. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, like, I watched the majority of Black Mirror, and
Hey,
I
you like
really enjoyed that.
anthologies? If you like anthologies, then I got a video game series for you.
Oh my!
Let's go. Okay, move. Jokes aside. Back to it. Go.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm curious about it. You know, I want to see something that's a little bit freaky, a little bit scary, and you know, if it has some good writing, I'm here for it. So I'm gonna give it a try. I really did like American Horror Story. Like, I watched the first few seasons in high school. You know, when they were airing, and you know, that was an exciting time to you know, to see the episodes as they aired. So I'll give it a try. But I really, yeah, I don't really have any expectations. Other than that, just been rewatching some old shit. Bane and I were talking before the podcast. Smiling Friends is one of my favorite cartoons as of recent years. It's really fucking funny. Um, and that's a show that I throw on every now and again when I just want something in the background. And same with Rick and Morty. I think season 7 was pretty good. And I'm excited to see the next season for that whenever it does come out, because I mean, that's a funny show. I know it's cringe, and you know, it's popular and
You
everyone's
got the
fucking
pickle,
made it weird,
Rick.
but like it is a really funny show.
I do
And
think
I
there's
do
been a
like it.
decline on Rick and Morty, but I wouldn't hate on it. You know, it's I
Yeah, I
just
think there definitely has been a decline.
I just like the first seasons a lot more, and then eventually I stopped
Yeah.
watching because it didn't caught my interest anymore. But
I
yeah,
feel that. I feel that. But I will not shit on you for liking Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I mean, look, like, I mean, I'm here for it. Like, it is like just a fucking cringy show because of all of the people and the memes that have come from it. But now that it's sort of settled down a little bit, and
yeah,
it hasn't been airing, and it's not super like popular to make fun of it anymore, like, going back, I think season 7 was fine. I think the finale was actually really good, and I like what they did with bringing Space Beth back, having her as a whole regular part of the family, which won't mean anything to you guys if you haven't seen the last few seasons. But yeah, I think it's cool. They seem to obviously still have a larger story that they want to tell, so I'm here for it. And you know, any of the random bullshit filler, not so filler, but I'm doing air quotes. Any of the random adventures they do are usually are usually a hit for me. They're usually pretty funny. So
talking
I'm excited to
about
see it.
Rick and Morty, I just wanted to mention how we talked about Americanizing stuff. Like, oh yeah, we gotta make a
Yeah.
movie. Like the opposite's also
Oh
true.
god.
Why is there a Rick and Morty anime now? Like
Yeah,
they're really just like, oh
I
yeah, we
knew
gotta
you were
get
gonna
it
bring
with the
that up.
kids. The kids love anime. We gotta make a Rick and Morty anime. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Why?
and you know the fucked up thing about that is, because I haven't watched it, but I've seen I've seen some clips on it and all that. Adult
Mhm.
Swim had hired, you know, a team of animators to make, like, basically just like glorified bumpers. Like, they were like short,
Yeah.
maybe like 3 to 5 minutes, and like I think they uploaded some clips that were like 12 minutes or so onto their YouTube, and they were
Mhm.
really cool. Like, they were just again like a cool self-contained story, with really good animation, and it was interesting, and it had good voice acting. And then you see what they came out with, the actual series, the anime series, and it's really cheap. It looks cheap. The animation is quite honestly just not appealing to look at, and the voice acting is not great. It seems that, you know, they just tried to sort of capitalize on a meme, and
Yeah.
but from what I've read, a lot of people just think it's trash, and so for that reason, I'm probably never gonna watch it.
Yeah, I wasn't planning
But
to give
yeah,
it a try unless
it's
people were
just a
saying it's
fucking
good.
shame.
Honestly.
Like, that just didn't need to happen. I think making like little bumper like shorts with anime style is fine, but it doesn't need to be its own series. And I think the reception to that has made that pretty solid case, because it's just not good. So whenever the new season comes out, I'm excited for that. I don't give a shit
I
about the
mean,
anime.
sometimes good stuff comes of it, like Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime. I was not expecting it to be good. I was going into
Right.
it with like, oh yeah, they're just This is just like a last ditch effort to make Cyberpunk 2077 and get some extra sales or whatever. It actually worked because it was good as fuck. But I think that's because there were actually like writers who saw this setting and they were just free to make their own story and they weren't tied by like, oh yeah, we gotta make it about this character, we gotta adapt this thing. You know, they were like, oh yeah, basically, here's a setting you can work with. They put Adam Smasher in and like who else shows up in the actual game, you know? There were like some backwards reference into the game added later, but it's not like they were forced into it. And I think just like the creative freedom you give to people is the most important part. Because doing a one-to-one adaptation makes you ask like, why? Just watch the original, you know?
Right.
Rick and Morty is definitely a weird choice to make it Japanese, like make an anime from. And there's also the thing where they call stuff anime, and the only people who are Japanese working on it are like a couple animators and maybe a writer or two. But like it's usually like a Western production, and they just call it anime to profit, like Castlevania.
It's written by Western writers. Like the most it has are voice actors and maybe animators. It's very weird.
Like Castlevania, and I don't shit on Castlevania because apparently it's a pretty good show.
Castlevania was really good.
But why market this as an anime? Right? Same with the Devil May Cry, quote unquote anime. Just why are you so afraid to say it's like a Western show? You know, Invincible did really good and it's a good show. You know, I mean, I have my opinions on Invincible, but it's mostly it's a good show.
And, I did enjoy Invincible from what I've seen.
I haven't watched season
it's weird.
2 yet.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is weird.
There's a weird trend where they sort of had to advertise everything as a anime because just having it be a cartoon is like somehow degrading. You know, it's like, but people might not take it seriously because it's a cartoon.
It's still got great stuff like BoJack Horseman, Smiling Friends. You know, like Home Tapes or whatever the fuck that show is I was talking about earlier. And that's something, segue into what I've been watching. I'm watching that Home Tapes. I think it's called. I want to just Google it real quick.
I think it was originally on Adult Swim.
Yeah, it was on Adult Swim, Home Tapes. I don't know. I'm trying to look for the
You could just sort of like...
Home movies.
Just like, you don't have to call it an anime. You don't have to call it a cartoon. Just let it speak for itself. Just be like... We have a new spin-off or a new series, or like we have an animated series based off of Castlevania. Check it out. I don't know if they actually advertised Castlevania as an anime, but
they did. I remember the controversy around it. They were definitely because it was one of the first ones.
An animated series.
It was one of the first ones that advertised itself as an anime when it was like mostly a Western production.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't get
it. And it actually made it like backlash because like a lot of people didn't want to get into it because of that controversy. Then those people later found out that it's actually a pretty good show. I haven't watched it yet, but speaking on general opinion, people say it's really good. So yeah, trust it. Yeah, I've been watching home movies.
Shows for me,
yeah.
That's about it for me. Go for it, Ben.
Okay, yeah, I was watching home movies. That's a really good show. If you like Smiling Friends, you should watch Home Movies. Pretty similar type of humor. It's not as internety as Smiling Friends, because Smiling Friends is made by like a YouTuber. But Home Movies has that same kind of awkward humor of like realistic, quote unquote realistic, right? But like they feel realistic conversations. Every time the coach is on screen and they have like this awkward conversation, we're like, what the fuck is he talking about? And you're like, I kind of relate to this. I have a guy that talks like this.
Yeah, it's aged really well. Yeah. I think it's very funny.
It's pretty funny. I love home movies.
And it goes to show, like, I think the sort of the crude animation style makes it even funnier. Like, it's just great. You don't need some crazy budget. You can make something really funny if you just have good writers that are having fun and people that have fun voice acting.
Yeah, it's just really like you really realize when something's made with like soul and love for it, and when it's made just to serve like a capitalistic niche, like, oh yeah, we gotta make a show out of this, and that's usually why I have like negative opinion about making stuff over the internet. Like the Backrooms thing, it's not a writer that saw the concept was like, oh my god, this is so interesting, I can expand on this. It was someone who was told,
Absolutely,
"Hey,
yeah.
you gotta make a backrooms thing because it's gonna sell. Come on, so write something up. You know, you gotta spit something
Yeah,
up
like
quick."
3 years ago, bro, like Backrooms, everyone was talking about it. Everyone was making creepy videos. Like we gotta capitalize, and then
Yeah.
they're years behind, and
Mhm.
it's just like. But like I said, there's a little.
Yeah, there's a
morbid
chance it's
curiosity
good
there.
because you know sometimes even
Very
when you
curious.
rush people, they can still have great ideas. You know, they can still bring
Yeah,
out
and
some
even if
great
it's
concepts.
not
To like.
good, it might be funny. It might be entertaining.
Yeah,
To be bad, I don't know.
might be so bad
We'll
it's
see.
good, like Sharknado. You know, I love Sharknado for that.
Absolutely.
And
So
Yeah.
what else have you
Shout out
been?
Sharknado.
We are not shouting out Sharknado. What else?
Why
have you
not?
We
played?
just did.
Shout out
What else have
Sharknado.
you been
Actually, a good
playing?
movie.
Oh my
That's a
God,
movie
what
that
else?
knows how to be bad. You know, a movie that knows how to be bad is a good
Oh
movie.
my fuck.
Agree. It
Like
was, it was
it's
meant to be
intentionally
bad. It
bad.
did its job.
Yeah. I love Sharknado, but yeah, whatever. I've been watching home movies. Other thing I've been watching, of course, Japanese. You know, I love my Japan, Sugoi Japan. I've been watching Kamen Rider, which for people who don't know, it's basically Power Rangers. Before Power Rangers, it's what. Well, Power
I was gonna
Rangers were
say,
actually
was
inspired on
Kamen
Super
Rider
Sentai.
before. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Super Sentai was what inspired Power Rangers because Super Sentai has like the whole Yellow Ranger, Red Ranger, and stuff. But Kamen Rider is like of the same subtype, like of the same tokusatsu. It's called, which like low budget shows. Godzilla is a low budget. Well, it used to be, right? Like the old movies, they're categorized on the tokusatsu because it was literally a guy dressed up in a suit, like knocking over mache fucking buildings. And so it's tokusatsu. It's low budget, but I think the creativity that comes with that, it's really really entertaining. Kamen Rider Kiva is the one I've been watching because I already watched 02 and Gotchard, and I'm also watching the new one. Fuck, what is it called? Gab. It's called Gab. Basically, you know, it's something that you gotta grow into. Like, it's not, you're not gonna instantly accept it because it's ridiculous as fuck. You know, the animation of the guy getting in the suit and out of the suit, it's very low budget. But eventually, what I like about Kamen Rider is that it's not that you have to turn your brain off. It turns your brain off for you. Like, it literally just transports you into the mind of when you were a little kid watching Power Rangers and you were excited seeing the explosions and the kicks and the stuff like that. You know, it literally like turns your brain off for you. And I know it's not an experience that only I had because all my friends who've watched it said the same thing without any of us saying that to each other first. And it's really enjoyable, and it genuinely has like an engaging story behind, like especially Kiva. You're like, there's a story that even an adult or like a teenager can follow and still be into. Enjoyable characters, and like it's also very funny. Sometimes unintentionally funny, sometimes intentionally funny, but it's a great watch. I've been enjoying Kiva, which is like Kamen Rider but with vampires in there, and the vampires don't suck blood, they suck souls out of people, and it's been really entertaining. I've been loving Kiva. I've been watching that with my girlfriend actually, and eventually she's like the same. She had the same experience. Watching it first, it was very rough for her because of the low budget effects, making it not possible for her to get into the story. But like 2 episodes in, she was already in love, and she was constantly asking me to keep watching. And I think it's an experience. You gotta just get through the rough edges, and eventually you're gonna accept and love them. You know? And I can definitely recommend Kamen Rider Kiva. And very quickly, gonna go over the animes I'm watching. Because, you know, every season I follow a couple anime that I'm interested in. And gonna go over the ones that are just blue box, rom-com between a guy and a girl. Been following the manga forever. I think we're in already chapter 150 on the manga, but the adaptation is going to be really good. It's really well animated, and the voice acting is really good. Not much to say. Now, the Blue Lock season 2 is the exact opposite. I don't know if any one of you saw a Twitter clip of this shit, but they're literally using PDF, like the fucking PDF presentation screen, to flip the fucking page. It's insane. It's so low budget, it's actually kind of sad.
Why? No, I haven't seen that.
They're literally like PNGs on the
That's
screen.
hilarious.
Like I can find the clip for you later, but it's so funny. They're literally using a PDF fucking presentation, and it's not even like You know how people say that as a joke? No, this is like for real. That is literally a PDF transition. You can go into your fucking a PDF file and add that transition to the screen, and it's so funny. Like I've never seen an anime do something like that before. It's too low budget. It's disappointing because this arc on Blue Lock is one of my favorite arcs in shonen. I'm not gonna say one of the best because definitely not, but one of my favorite. And it's sad seeing the treatment that it's getting. You know, season 1 was already not that good with all CGI and stuff, but this one's ridiculous. It's already just very sad, and I hope it's all for the sake of animating the really important parts very well, and they're just saving budget for that. But I just hope so, you know, because if they fuck up the lock panel, I'm gonna be so sad. But whatever, you know, Blue Lock anime is pretty bad so far. Now the Dan Da Dan adaptation is actually being amazing. I recommend it to you, Dan. Actually, it's even in the name, you know, Dan Da Dan.
Yeah,
you know, it's literally made for you.
It is.
You gotta hop on it.
I've definitely been thinking about it. I either want to watch it or read it. But
Listen,
if the anime is good, then maybe I'll just watch
it's weird at the beginning because something I want to comment on real quick is this is a classic for every fucking Shonen Jump anime. For people who don't know, it's a magazine that comes up in Japan, and they've had basically the latest manga chapters of like whatever franchise they get their hands into, right? And if your manga doesn't do well at the beginning, it gets cancelled and you're never gonna be able to finish it. You know, they also own the IP, so it's not like you can go run off with it somewhere else and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make that done again, but for this magazine. Usually, changing magazine is something that happens very rarely. So in the beginning, a lot of mangakas what they do is include this very weird, pervy fucking scenes where like, oh yeah, I gotta touch your boobs. Oh yeah, let me look at your boobs, and like, oh yeah, naked women all the time. And you really can't blame them because, you know, that's them trying to stick their IP in and make sure they can actually finish the story they want to tell. So in the first few chapters and the episodes too of the anime, you're going to see some weird stuff, but don't worry. That's last like, I don't know, like 10 manga chapters, 20 manga chapters. And on the anime, I don't imagine it's going to be that much. But it's mostly like, it's a shonen. There are fights, but it's mostly a comedy. And it is really funny. Like the situations are very ridiculous. Like you're gonna watch and you're like, what the fuck's going on? And you're gonna read and you're gonna be like, what the fuck's going on? And then you're gonna be hit with the saddest backstory you're ever gonna see in your life, and you're gonna cry a little bit. I'm looking forward for one specific backstory actually that has no text in the manga. I want to see how they adapt that. But the whole backstory has not a single word spoken. And it still almost made me cry just from how beautifully it was drawn. And it's hard to cry from manga. I don't know if you guys read manga, but it's actually kind of hard without the music and stuff. It's harder to get into it, but it still managed me to like make me shed a tear. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I think anyone who watched Dan Da Dan is gonna like it. I think Dan Da Dan is gonna be the next big hit because it's successful in the Shonen Jump. And Boku no Hero ended, Jujutsu Kaisen ended, and people need something new to hop on, right? Mm-hmm. So I think Dan Da Dan and Sakamoto Days are gonna be the next ones. Hopping on to another fucking...
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, I definitely recommend to you. I think it's only 3 episodes so far, so it's not gonna be so hard to catch up to date now.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
Uzumaki, anyone who likes Junji Ito knows about Uzumaki. The first episode's a little masterpiece.
Yeah, I do know about the unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, episode 2, they changed production teams, they changed studio. Adult Swim really treats their animes really badly, and it's sad to see, honestly. Because episode 1 actually was so beautiful that I was getting goosebumps. I was like, I'm getting transported into the pages of the manga. I'm sure this is how Junji Ito imagined their scenes going like. This is how I imagined the scenes going like as I was reading it. And then seeing episode 2 was so sad. Like, it genuinely made me sad. I was disappointed. I was kind of coping, like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. But it was that bad. And it made me very sad. Because, honestly, episode 1, I think everyone should watch episode 1. And then you can hop onto the manga if you want. But episode 1, you know, it captures you. It's so beautifully done. You know, every single frame's like transported right out of the manga and just animated. And I think it's one of the most faithful adaptations I've seen from anime. And the most creative adaptations I've seen from anime, period. Because it's on black and white as well. and I think that's very important to capture that in Junji Ito feel. Like I feel like once you add color, it looks kind of weird, and I love
Yeah,
it.
it's a big
I love this
shame
character
what
design.
what
Yeah,
uh what Adult Swim did.
real
Like,
shame.
it's just not fair. Just
Mhm.
not fair to the artists and the people that really wanted to tell the story.
Mhm.
But I will take you up on that. I'll probably watch the first episode and then
Watch
see
it.
about reading it
100%
because
watch it.
I do wanna check it out.
So Maki, I think
This
it
is not
falls
really
off.
related, but
Yeah,
yeah.
go on, go
No,
on,
I was
go.
gonna say this is not super related, but just speaking a little bit on manga. I've always wanted to read Oyasumi Punpun, and I just really
Yeah.
gotta bite the bullet and just start it. I
I
really want
recommend.
to.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've
definitely
read
hop
that.
on it. It's definitely, especially if you haven't read a lot of manga yet. Oyasumi Pum Pum hits different. I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really good. But once you've read like a lot of other mangas and you've seen it, the idea done in better ways, it kind of falls off a little bit. But if it's one of the first mangas you've read or one of the first mangas of its type you read, it's gonna blow your mind and you're literally gonna base your whole personality around it. I think that's a good thing because I think it deserves the praise it gets.
Yeah.
It gets
that does
weird
sound very
around the
compelling.
end. Around the end, I don't like it that much, but no major complaints. I would say it's an 8 out of 10 or even a 9 out of 10. It's just that once you've seen a 10 out of 10 or like an 11 out of 10, you're like, yeah, Yasumi Pum Pum is good. It's not that good,
Right.
but definitely recommend it. I like for sure. Just 100% anyone should
Yeah,
read
that's
Yasumi
one
Pum
that
Pum.
I've definitely been thinking about it. So
Mhm.
maybe I will. At work these days, I have a lot of downtime, so it could be better than just sit on my phone. Maybe just read something.
Okay.
I mean, I would still be sitting on my phone, but
Yeah, I'm gonna
But
speed run through this one just so they won't take us long. There's one I want to talk about, but we're gonna speed run through a few real quick. Ronnie Kenshin's second season. I don't think it's come out yet. I haven't seen an episode, but I really want to watch it. Same with Ranma and a Half. Still hasn't come out, I think. If it has, I haven't watched it yet. But the remake, I'm looking forward to it because the original anime, of course, didn't adapt the final chapter of the manga because it eventually caught up to it and it never finished it. So I want to see what they do to it. It's not like Ranma and a Half. It's really good, but it's one of the OG animes. You're like, oh yeah, it's like part of wave culture. So you're like such attached to it. You just want to watch it. I hope it's a good new way to watch it for anyone that hasn't watched the original. But no opinions yet. Haven't watched it, of course. The Ronnie Kenshin remake season 1 was really good. I know some people complain about the OST compared to the original, but I think they adapted the scenes very well still. And I'm hoping that they adapt this arc, which is like one of the best shonen arcs ever, period. Good. Like, I hope they do it justice. I'm trusting them. Magi Lumira Inc., also one that hasn't come out or haven't watched it yet, like the first episode. It's about a couple of magical girls, so whatever. It's like a magical girl, but enterprise. I don't know. And then Hyakusho Kyasoku, which are the short story of Hiromu Arakawa, who is the mangaka for Fullmetal Alchemist, and tells her story being a farmer. And I think it's really entertaining if you want to watch season 1. Each episode is like literally 5 minutes, so you can watch that in like a single go. I hope season 2. I know it's gonna be good because season 1 was good, and season 2 is gonna maintain that soul. So, like they're just 5-minute clips. It's not anything to write home about. But it's good comedy, and you can learn stuff about the farming life and how it's like in Japan. So you go out with a little more facts. I learned that thing or two from it. And the last one, actually no, not the last one. Dragon Ball Daima. I also want to watch that. Haven't watched the first episode yet. Whatever. Maybe next podcast I'm gonna have something to say about Dragon Ball Daima. But
yeah,
this one,
that's, like, I'm holding a lot of shit back for
Dragon Ball Daima. I have a bad opinion already about it, but it's the last thing that Akira Toriyama wrote. I'm pretty sure. So I would like to see its last apportation. What's the word I'm looking for? The last thing he wrote, for Dragon Ball. I'm really looking forward to it. It's like it's gonna make me kind of nostalgic. Even if it does turn out bad, I'm not gonna be able to hate it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to hate it. Plus, Dragon Ball Daima guy, the Goku Daima, is on Sparking Zero, so that's pretty funny. I think we actually got Dragon Ball Daima Goku on Sparking Zero before the anime. Okay, sorry. I know I'm taking too long, but this is the last one I want to comment on because this actually has been the biggest surprise of what I haven't seen an anime with that first episode this good since the last time I watched my favorite anime, which was Fumetsu no Natae. Like this first episode is actually beautiful. I think this has the potential to be anime of the season, if not anime of the year. And I'm not exaggerating the list speed when I'm saying this. I think this is gonna be the biggest surprise. People are gonna be talking about this, and very soon, from the people who watch it, are gonna be like, "Please watch this," and then it's gonna start expanding, and hopefully it gets the recognition it deserves. Because so far, 3 episodes in, it's amazing. Potentially anime of the year, like I'm saying, and we have Freyr in this anime like this season. Well, second part of Freyr in this season, but it's called Orb on the Movements of the Earth. And real quick synopsis, it's about a guy living on the 15th century Poland, very religious place, very Europe, and that time it was very religious. It thought of many ideas as sacrilege, like going against religion. Like they thought Earth was at the center of the earth, right? Of the universe, sorry. And if you had the opposite idea, you would probably get executed or tortured. We all know how it was like at that time. I don't need to really expand on it. But it really is about the very young kid, I think it's 12 or 14, I don't remember, who gets really interested into astronomy and meets a guy who introduces to him the idea of the sun being in the center of the universe, or like of our universe, right? And it blows this guy's mind because suddenly everything lines up and it's perfect. But he's the kind of guy who tries to stay out of trouble, but because of his love for science, he can't anymore. Like once he sees this idea, he wants to explore it and more. And I just laid the basics, and I really hope you guys and the people watching give this episode a chance. Just watch the first episode. If you didn't like the first episode, it's not for you. You can drop it. I'm not gonna get mad at you, but just watch the first episode. I think, especially if you're the type of person who loves how we as humans, as humanity, have progressed in our understanding of the universe and science and understanding of stuff, and just are a big fan of how much we progress, you're gonna like this anime a lot because it's just the embodiment of all the hardships we've overcome and the stuff we had to go through to reach the understanding we have today, and the passion that scientists have for this kind of stuff. And I really recommend it. I just can't stop praising this anime. I hope people give it a chance. Just the first episode.
Yeah, I looked it up. I'll definitely check it out, man. Sounds cool.
And with that, I think we wrap up right now.
Yep.
And we will be back next month, and we will, talk more about stuff.
Hell
and
yeah.
Hopefully be not. I won't spend all the time on video games, but yeah. Thank you, everybody.
That was good.
It was good. It was really fun talking to you guys. Yeah, enjoyed that a lot.
Had fun. I had fun, but thank you for spending time with me today.
Of course.
And thank you, viewer, for listening. Remember, if you want to buy Bane, the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, or the
or Metaphor, either or. I'm not picky.
Yeah. Make sure you go support us on Patreon.
Yeah.
So
we don't actually have a Patreon. Just making sure here.
No, not at all. Not at all. We do not have a Patreon, but it's funny to say that.
Yeah.
It's funny to say we do, but we don't.
I agree.
But yeah.
Bye everyone then.
Oh boy.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
And the recording is